Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. And with me today is Primarch Perseus Tyrannicus Beard.
Greetings, sir.
How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great. We had a great day. Long day, but a great day.
I'm a little depressed that you dressed down for the stream.
Well, this is what I wore to the courtroom today, and I just thought, well, why bother to get to down dress? I like your outfit. It's a wife beater, isn't it?
Hey, you wear what's comfortable.
Yeah,
actually, this is vintage. This is Baywatch.
Oh wow!
Baywatch wife beater that we're wearing today.
Well, it gives you that freedom of movement you need, when you're
right. Exactly.
Do stuff.
Right. Well, I like the martial arts,
mm-hmm.
So I gotta keep the shoulders free. You can't have the restrictive. You know, Tiger Woods, he would always have to pull up his cuff when he's going for the golf swing, right? That's because polo shirts are not ideal for golf. Wife beaters are.
There you go.
No, you got to keep your arms free.
Well, that's good to know, really.
Let me see. I've got to fix a filter on your. I don't know why the noise gate isn't. Your mic is staticky, and it's not your fault. I mean, it is.
Right.
But,
is it like a internet connection thing? Because I can.
No, I think it's.
No, we're on the good internet here. So.
No, it's not a connection thing. There's just a background noise. I think I got rid of it.
Oh,
yeah. We did. Okay, I just changed the noise gate. It was just like a few decibels too low. Anyway, okay. This is some background, deep lore here on noise gating and professional sounding stuff, and that's not why we're here today.
Right, yeah, a little esoteric even by our standards.
So we've got an interesting show. You were in trial all day, right?
I was, yes.
And so I didn't think you did those.
Thank you for teaching me how to, Nick. I appreciate that.
I'm glad. What I did was I photocopied every page of my book called Trial, and I sent those to you out of order and hoped that it would stick.
There's a book, and I think it's in its 27th printing or something now, by a guy named Maui, Mauet, I think is how you spell it. Did y'all ever use his trial?
No,
book?
We didn't, because my professor was Roger Haydock. I believe he wrote our trial book.
Okay.
And Haydock is the special master for the Bayer aspirin string of lawsuits that's still going on like 20 years later.
Wow.
So that guy made it, I'm pretty sure, close to infinity money just delegating delegating suits to different jurisdictions.
Oh yeah. Well, Maui is the book that almost every trial law class besides yours apparently uses, but practitioners use him too. And about every 5 years I'll buy the latest update of his book. It's filled with amazingly practical advice. Anyway, you don't get to go to the courthouse, actually go to the courthouse very much anymore because everything always settles in mediation. And we were in mediation on this case day before yesterday. Everybody but me was certain we'd settle. I just had one of those feelings this one was going to go the distance.
Sure.
And we did. Mostly I held Amazon Prime's purse throughout most of the day. But
yeah. Well, I have to take umbrage with something you said. You say you don't go to trial very often anymore, but I have learned from Law Twitter that all of them go to trial basically every day.
Oh, well, yeah.
They're experts.
In their minds, they go to trial, I guess.
So we've had a big, interesting day, I guess, in this world today. Some weird stuff came out. I don't know where from. About one of the defendants in your case. Now, we won't talk about that too much, but
well, I would like to do this. I would like to especially thank T. Greg Doucette for somehow managing to piss off somebody so bad. that, that they went to the trouble to get all that. Well done, Greg. Well done.
And that somebody was Joseph TX from the Kiwi Farms.
Yep. Joseph, thank you. You did some work that we were going to have to do. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So
we were aware of that, and that was on our long list of due diligence that we were going to do in the case. That's just basic stuff you do.
Well,
but Joseph kept me from having to send somebody out there. Thanks, man.
Someone was asking me why did it take till now to find this or whatever, and I was explaining that you have a limited amount of bandwidth because you have a limited number of attorneys, you've got other matters that you're working on, you've got a limited amount of time, you've got a limited amount of money and resources to do all this stuff, and this one, from my understanding, required a physical trip to the Tarrant County Courthouse. I don't know how your system works. Can you go to any county courthouse in Texas and pull these documents? Or?
You can, but you usually have to. When you're talking about case files like that, you have to go, and it's physical. And typically, you'll assign a lawyer or a paralegal to that. And of course, we live, we're in Tyler, 2.5 hours,
right.
From there. It's like a lot of things. You only look for the stuff that's going to help you right now. It was on our list. We were aware of it, and just as a matter of basic due diligence, we would have gotten around to it. But so I'll take the help.
But let's be clear, because let's get all the disclaimers out of the way. Did you, Ty Beard, send me any documents relating to the divorce of Ronald Toye?
Did not.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not certain that there's anything wrong with me doing that, but I didn't do it.
Yeah, I don't know that there would be either, but just so we're clear. And also, did I send you a bunch of files relating to the divorce of Ron Toye?
Oh my gosh darn it, I believe you did.
I absolutely did, and I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Yep. They have been put in the appropriate receptacles in our filing system.
Yeah. So what are you drinking out of that mug there?
I am just drinking coffee, just basic hazelnut coffee in the traditional Beard and Harris mug from the old days when we were just Beard and Harris.
Sure. I've got that high-grade plastic bottle.
It's in a plastic bottle.
It's got, let me see if I can get a picture of this, because I was trying to describe it. It's got like an olive oil pour spout.
Oh my God!
That's how bootleg this is.
I don't think I've seen it. There's a company I've seen it in Louisiana that actually sells its booze. They call their booze moonshine, and they sell it in mason jars.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I've got some shine here too. I've got apple pie moonshine from the Old Smoky Distillery. I met the Moonshiners. Have you seen that show? Okay, so it's a show. It's a show. This blows my mind. There's a show about highly illegal activity, right?
Right.
And these guys are at Bubba Fest advertising their show. And so they didn't have any moonshine there, but they're just sitting around. They're great. Mark and Digger, got to talk to them, and
that's their name, Mark and Digger.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that's their real names or not, but
that's fantastic.
Just two kind of older Southeast gentlemen in some overalls, hanging out, making jokes, and having a great time. They were really fun. Very, very personal. Were they actually
selling booze or probably not?
No, they couldn't do that at the convention.
But I remember my younger cousin. I went over his house one time about 10 or 15 years ago now, and I walk out and I go, "That looks like a still." He goes, "Yep, that's what it is. I always want to make moonshine." I'm like, "Good." He sent me a small bottle of it, and it was fresh. I think I wound up using it to thin acrylic paints for my miniatures.
Guys, I can't fix the static. It's there. You've got static coming through on your end. I don't know if is your microphone sitting under a fan or something?
Yeah, because that's why I didn't want to put it there.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that better, Nick?
Hold on. No, I still hear it. I don't know that there's a fix for it. There's just some static, but we don't have to worry. What I'm trying to say to the chat is I don't think there's going to be a remedy for it's a very low static sound.
Yeah.
But that might just be what we have to say. It might just be what we have to deal with. So
we haven't had that problem in the past because I mean I had literally the same setup I had last.
No, but you know, it could be a connection. It could be a lot of stuff. Who knows?
Control mic. Is that any better? Well, you know what? Damn it, we're just going to press through. Oh yeah, and of course.
Well, I think we'll survive. I think we'll be okay.
Bomb-free transmission.
Oh, it's an F-bomb free transmission?
Yeah, you know, I got reamed pretty hard for the last one. Oh, I'd like to make an announcement. I mean, I don't know if anybody cares, but I'm going to be at ReaperCon in Dallas Saturday and Sunday. You know, we have the whoa.
Sorry. You know what's weird? This stuff is
your water on the stream.
This stuff is actually very smooth. And not gasoline-y, it just tastes like utter garbage.
Oh, but that's the greatest review. Smooth, but not gasoline-y.
Right, but tastes like garbage. Like that liquid that's at the bottom of the can, you know? That's what it tastes like.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, but anyway, I'm going to be at ReaperCon in Dallas on Saturday and Sunday. It's a miniature wargaming and role-playing thing. As I said, I've come out of the closet from my nerddom. So
there you go. So that's Saturday. That's after your filing deadline on Friday.
Yeah. I'm a little disconnected. I don't know what all happened today in the filing stuff because I was in the courthouse.
Right.
But I'm sure Jim was over there working like the Oompa Loompas do, you know.
That's a boomer reference.
Actually, my favorite is Big Bang Theory, where Sheldon walks up into the engineering area of wherever it is he works, and he walks in. Oh, look, it's the semi-skilled laborers, engineers who actually build the things that are created by those who think and dream. Science. Very good, Sheldon.
Okay, so you're going to be at ReaperCon. Filings are still due on Friday. Let's see what I wanted to talk about. I'm going to get to the law Twitter stuff in a second because they had an absolute meltdown.
Yes, I believe they seemed a little bit agitated with what. Of course, I'm sitting in the courthouse. You know, I tweeted. You know, I went wild on Twitter and tweeted something today.
Oh wow!
I was waiting for the docket call and it looked like it was going to be a long time, so I tweeted out, you know, this is a good song when you're waiting for docket call and it's sitting on the dock of the bay with Otis Redding. And I'm not kidding. The second I hit the little plus thingy to send the tweet, the judge calls us. Well, that's this courtroom is interesting. It's one of the smaller counties around Tyler. I'm not going to say which because I don't want to, you know,
right,
give away. But anyway, this particular courtroom, no one but the lawyers are allowed to have their phones and text or do anything, right?
Yeah.
And the bailiff is this very intimidating, probably 6 foot tall woman, and I wouldn't mess with her. You know, and I mean, she's walking around just making sure. And hey, if you're watching the stream, I don't know why you would be, but you run a tight courtroom, ma'am. I met a new judge. He won election this year, so he's another one of these young, really serious, all, you know, no nonsense, all business judges. I tell you, I'm really liking this generational transition we're making here with judges and stuff.
Where judges actually like want to sit and follow the law and clear their docket and be efficient rather than pontificate about how great they are at being judges.
Yeah, there's some of that. No, there's very definitely, as you well know, Nick. There's a generational difference, both in attitude and approach. We have some judges who are what I'd call, you know, baby boomer era judges who are very good, but it's even as recently as 20 years ago, we were still sort of in the do it because I say so phase of law, where judges could just pretty much, you know, there were the rules, there were the Texas Rules of Civil Procedure, and then there was the rules of the judge.
Oh yeah.
You know, well, a lot of these younger judges coming up have been lawyers under those regimes, and they hated it. And so
yeah, it's terrible.
It is. One of my senior trial lawyers one time got cross with a judge that I knew real well. In fact, I'd run her election campaign, and I mean, she got all kinds of bent out of shape at him because he insisted that the Texas Rules of Civil Procedure applied in her courtroom. And she called me up and summoned me before, and I'm sitting there, and I said, "Hi, Judge, we sit down," and she starts laying out her bill of particulars about one of my people, and I'm kind of going, well, but I kind of think that's what the rules say. Well, that's not how it is in my courtroom. I said, well, all right, come on. I said, this guy's a trial lawyer of however many years experience. He's board certified. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know what I'm supposed to do because it sounds like he was following the rules and you weren't. You don't exactly say it that way, but yeah. So anyway,
all right, I'm gonna say it one more time for the chat because the chat is ticking me off. Guys, the noise gate is up. The static will still come through every time Ty talks because the noise gate can't prevent something that happens while the static or while sound is coming through the mic channel. We can't fix it. We could spend all day troubleshooting it, but we know there's static. I'm sorry. There's just not really anything we can do about it.
Project and text, and like in a little box somewhere. Static is unavoidable.
The static is a feature, not a bug. This is.
Right.
Please wait for the day one patch, and we'll fix it.
Yeah, it's. Oh, hey, this wouldn't. My device wouldn't cause static, would it?
It could, a device or a phone by the microphone.
Let's see, I don't have a phone by it, but I've pulled my iPad away from it. Is that better?
No, it's possible that your gain is too high on the mic. If you could have your assistant lower the gain a little bit, maybe.
Did you lower the gain?
I turned it all the way off.
Turn it all the way off.
Okay, that's worse.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. Turn up the gain now.
Bueller.
A little higher if you could.
Higher, Bueller. A little higher, Bueller.
Yeah, so it's not the gain. It might be something with the audio connection. It might be something to do with the stupid Hangouts connection. I don't know. But just so you guys know, there's not much more we can do about it. We're just gonna have to power through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
we've done all we can do for that.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about some things that came across with the divorce papers. Like I said, I don't want to get too far into specifics, but
right.
Law Twitter has been a buzz harder than the static on the stream about the idea of admissibility. The idea is that this will have no impact or bearing on a case. None of this matters at all anywhere. And also, he's a saint who would never do anything wrong. All of that is.
Why are they blowing a gasket if it has no relevance, no meaning, no nothing?
I don't know, but T. Greg has tweeted somewhere around 200 times today.
Oh, let me tell you something. If I were my esteemed colleagues representing the person whose divorce got exposed, I would have a hitman go visit T. Greg because I mean, well,
in Minecraft. Say the words in Minecraft.
Yes, that idiot will be out there saying he called for my murder. No, listen, Greg, you're not even worth. I wouldn't pay a hitman $20. You're just not worth it. What I mean is, apparently, T. Greg and Law Twitter in general just pissed this guy off so bad that he decided to do something about it for no good reason, best I can tell. And so, boy, if someone supposedly on my side had helped me out like that, I'd be going, appreciate your help, but please stop. So I think that's kind of funny. But what I find very interesting is the notion that all of a sudden admissibility matters. All of a sudden relevance matters. I mean, I'm just curious. How does Michelle Speck's testimony matter?
I don't know. I'm trying to find that out. Actually, after reading Kahn versus Vanderlinden, I'm trying to find out how any of their evidence outside of merely establishing that this is a matter of public concern matters.
No, I don't want to give anybody's hopes up. I doubt seriously we'll be using that affidavit. No promises, because that's always it's always a game day decision, and we'll be,
Wait, what? I'm not talking about any affidavit.
Whatever you used.
I said the case, Kahn versus Vanderlinden.
Yeah, what I was saying, I think we were agreeing violently. What I was saying was, I don't think we'll be using that affidavit from the divorce or anything.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want to get anybody's hopes up. I won't rule it out because, again, if we find some legitimate use for it, we will. I'm not a big fan of filing salacious crap just to file it.
Weird. Your opponents seem to be fans of that.
I think that's a fair characterization of some of those pleadings. Absolutely.
Very.
What I do think funny is this is sort of kind of the whole illustration of what you and I and others have been trying to make these idiots understand. This is why due process is such a good idea. Because if you've ever done anything in your life that you're embarrassed about, and it's been written down somewhere, you better get off your social justice unicycle because sooner or later someone's going to knock you off of it.
Yeah, it's amazing. And for those of you out there who do have a divorce in your past, remember how emotionally charged and horrible those are, and how things get put into divorces that may be taken out of context, or even if it's not taken out of context, it might have been something that you acted a particular way in a heat of passion that doesn't characterize how you normally act. That doesn't matter. And that won't come through in the text. It never comes through.
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, and we can't know. What we can know looking back at this stuff is this is what's there, and this is how the court dealt with it. That's it.
I mean, look, if a man deserves to have his life destroyed for one single event that's uncorroborated and even contradicted from 2007, I'm trying to figure out why an affidavit laying out blood-curdlingly detailed allegations of abuse from 2012 in a legal proceeding, why that doesn't, why that somehow doesn't matter.
Because, Ty, I don't think you realize that he is an ally, and allies can abuse, beat, and sexually assault women all they want. And what you find is allies do it all the time. It's actually a meme on the internet. I'm not sure if you're familiar, since I don't know how up you are on your memes.
Yeah, memes. That's the pictures with text on them, right?
Well, I mean, mimetic communication is actually a long time sociological or psychological.
Hey, we have a technical thing that we think we can fix that sound.
Oh, okay. So we'll wait. Oh, he's killed. Oh, maybe you're on the wrong mic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think you might be on your webcam mic.
Right. Is it same sound now?
I've still got the static, but I've got the volume is much better. You sound better.
Yeah, that one.
That's the camera. Yeah. So, all right, hold on. All right. Am I better?
Kind of.
Let's see. All right.
I'm still hearing the static. You know what? Can you hang up and try clicking and connecting again?
Yeah. And I'm going to look at the settings just real quick. Video, microphone, default. Okay, there it is right there. Which one do I want to do? Yeti. I think you found it, Nick. Okay, is that better?
It's clearer, but the static's still there. So I think that might be a connection issue.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. I can just close out of this and just convert and just click on the same link.
Yeah.
Okay.
Two of me. What's up, guys? Now you got two of me. Hey, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I am drinking red Milo's tea today. I'm giving it another shot. You've told me that the red is superior. You know what?
Am I there?
You are.
Is that better?
It is.
Oh my God, we managed to fix it.
Yeah,
is there any limit to our powers, Nick?
I think I hear a tiny amount of static, but I don't think it's coming through your end. I think that's entirely just in my headphones. So
Yeah.
I think we got it.
Static in your head. Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I think we were talking about, the fact that, this kind of stuff is, it's good for the goose, good for the gander kind of stuff.
Now, regardless of whether or not you guys end up trying to use this.
Oh, it'll get used at some point, I'm pretty sure. I just not in the upcoming.
Are you okay with kind of theory crafting some ways to get this in? Because
Sure.
I have my opinions. Of course, maybe I should find the tweet and I'll bring it up for you.
Okay.
MD McCullough.
I have added additional shielding and resilience. You will not get a cuss word out of me.
You think so?
As God is my witness, you will not be able to produce anything from Twitter law so asinine and obtuse that I will swear. I am throwing the gauntlet down.
Sure, buddy.
Yeah, I know. Sheer
Is...
hubris on my part, but it's okay.
I've got to find, what is this idiot's...
If you're talking about law Twitter, I'm afraid you're going to be a lot more specific than that.
Yeah, well, I am.
Fair's fair.
But I'd go through T. Greg's tweets, but I don't have 10 hours. 10 hours to do it.
That moron was tweeting last night. I watched a stream for a little while, and he was tweeting like at 3 a.m. I mean, I'm going, dude, what are you thinking?
Oh, here we go. They're here. Let's start with this. Let's see what's very.
I have hurled the gauntlet down.
Yep, you've hurled the gauntlet down.
Yep.
So my goal now is to get you to violate your sacred oath.
I mean, I all but begged you to. Any fault is mine.
Okay, let me share the screen. Here we go.
Okay.
All right. Let me make sure this is centered so people can see it. Let's get.
Boy, they just really don't like that GoFundMe, do they?
Man, they hate that GoFundMe. Look at this. So they're talking. I almost did it. I almost violated the swear rule. They have a spreadsheet, Ty.
That's glorious.
I don't even have a spreadsheet of the
Showing
GoFundMe.
how much the increase over the prior period. Of course, the periods are varying lengths, I guess.
Well,
because they're idiots that don't know how to operate a spreadsheet. But still, that's just funny.
So they're mad over, or they're I guess rejoicing over the fact that August donations are down, because this is what you're eventually reduced to, right? Well, the GoFundMe has so obliterated our narrative that we must try and revel in the small victory of it being less 1 month than a different month.
Of course, the June, July before was more than 2.5 times bigger than anything before it. So, kind of like everybody's waiting for their paychecks to.
Okay, so apparently, I'm trying to amp up the marks, which is not true. Actually, I think I've pretty much talked about. I'm working on some specific things that I need GoFundMe to sign off on before I can do it.
Empirically, this seems to be accurate.
August fundraising at GoFundMe, Vic Kicks Back, has dropped /educator.
Okay. Well, this guy's actually somebody I know reasonably well, and he just, he was doing the best.
I'm looking. There's a specific. Oh God.
That's a pretty good response. You're an idiot for multiple reasons in this tweet alone. That.
But he's talking to. He's talking to this guy.
To T. Greg, isn't he?
No, he's talking to this guy.
Oh.
But anyway, I'm looking for. See. Screech hyped the affidavit attached to the initial filing, claimed among other lollities the affidavit totally had a file number but he whited it out to trigger law Twitter. I did not, you lying fatso. I didn't white it out at all.
No, wait a minute. Are you sure you didn't do that just to have him on? I just assumed you did.
No, I didn't white it out. It's just from the 12th page of the PDF.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, it's almost like
no file number on it then.
The file number is actually just attached at the top of the PDF. I was just reading the affidavit attached to the filing. But he made this big deal out of it. But there's no big deal to be made.
Yeah.
The file number's on there. I'm going to show it tonight. I told people I was going to show it tonight. I mean, it's almost like I don't know what their motivation is here, but I've seen a lot of this.
Well, their motivation last night was to try to come to terms with the fact that they had been terribly, terribly exposed as hypocrites. You know, I mean,
there is that. There is that. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. No need to publicly. Oh, I don't think those. This is cute. They think they've shared the documents publicly.
Who has?
T. Greg says they've already been shared publicly, talking about what the documents will say. I think they've only seen one of the case's documents.
I wonder where they get those documents to send somebody down to Tarrant County Courthouse, probably climb to like the 19th floor of the bell tower or something.
But the interesting thing is I, of course, have more of the documents. And they have... So what I showed last night was from Ron's second marriage.
No.
But I didn't show the documents from Ron's first marriage. And that has a different file number, as it were. And so we're going to talk about...
I'm sure you don't get tattooed with a certain file number for all of your life.
No, you get a new one with...
Cat. What are you doing?
Each divorce gives you a whole new file number. So at some point, I am going to kick you off. Let me just preview that for the stream here. Guys, I need your help. Let me put Ty back on here. Are you eating jelly beans?
I'm eating a certain candied product that might resemble jelly beans, yes.
It's candied black-eyed peas is what it is.
Yeah, that's it.
Wouldn't be jelly beans.
They are kind of I mean, they were brought to me. They're that 79 different flavored kind of jelly bean that's sort of like out of Harry Potter, where you go,
Your daughters would be extra mean if they provided you with one of those jelly beans where half of them taste like vomit and stuff like that.
Yeah, they wouldn't do that.
They should just
their old dad.
They should just dunk one or two of those in your bowl.
They should let it go.
like a 1.5% chance that any given bean will just cause you to retch horribly on stream. That'd be great. I would pay them money for that. Anyway.
Okay, let's move on.
Yes, there are 8,000 people watching, and I need all of y'all's help. Tomorrow's stream. You think the Toye revelations from yesterday were big, okay?
Yeah.
Tomorrow's stream is going to blow your mind. I don't hype. I tease and do a little clickbaity stuff and all of that. That's part of the YouTube game. I don't hype unless it matters. Yesterday,
this is gonna make yesterday look fairly modest, I think.
Yesterday mattered. Tomorrow matters way more. So I need y'all's help. Tomorrow, I want 10,000 eyes plus on this stream. I'm going to be hyping this all day. And if you stick with me, after I kick Percy off this show in violent fashion, I am going to tease you with about 30 seconds of what's coming tomorrow.
Oh, you're actually going to tease it. Oh, wow.
I'm going to play 30 seconds of audio. 30 seconds of audio that no one knows exists. None of you know about this audio. I didn't know about this audio until today. Ty hasn't even heard it yet.
Clean living. I'm told that clean living and a moral attitude will occasionally result in you having a few good days. Been a few good days.
Let's just say that the moralizers and some of the most vocal and prominent ones, these are not nobodies. This is not Mike Dunford playing his tuba, trying to tweet out some nonsense about this. This guy is talking. He dedicated an entire thread to me today. Can I tell you about this? I'll tell you about this.
Does he know that you're into girls? I mean,
I don't.
Not that there's anything wrong with it. You understand? I'm just simply saying.
No.
Your bread is not buttered on that side, so to speak.
No, it's not. But he dedicated an entire thread. Let me tell you what he suggested. He suggested that because yesterday I used a Westlaw case read, that the synopsis of the case that I read is Westlaw intellectual property, which is true. They write the synopsis.
But you paid for it.
Well, I paid for it. I have a license in it. And and he says that I likely violated the almost impossible to violate copyright of Westlaw by doing that.
I'm trying to remember Westlaw ever suing a lawyer or commentator ever in the history of the planet.
I mean, I can't imagine that they would bother. And he does acknowledge that, in fairness. What he doesn't do is a proper fair use analysis at all. This guy's trying...
Because he's not a real lawyer.
Well, he's trying to be a PhD in copyright, Ty.
But he's a house husband. He's doing that pretty well, I guess.
Why is he going for a PhD in copyright rather than an LLM?
I couldn't tell you, because he's not a real lawyer. I think my analysis always gets back to every one of these imbeciles. You go, a real lawyer wouldn't say that. A real lawyer wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Well, let's just
think about law, Nick, and you know this because you actually demonstrated quite well. We are a trade. We're a profession. We're like your plumbers, your mechanics and stuff. We do a job. We're not theoreticians. I mean, maybe someday some client will walk in and say, hey, can I pay you your hourly rate to theorize about the impact of the common law on statutory law in the United States in the pre-Civil War times? I mean, somebody might pay me for that, but it ain't happened yet.
Yeah, usually my clients try and avoid paying for that type of stuff as much as possible.
Yeah.
Like, wait.
They kind of get, mine too. They get a little irritated whenever it's like, well, that's interesting. I'm not paying for this, am I?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, anyway, we're not talking about a Mike Dunford or a T. Gregg or some drama here. What I will play for you is audio tonight that matters a lot, and tomorrow I will play for you audio that matters all of it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone needs me vouching for it, but if it helps. I know what it is. Haven't heard it yet, but I know what it is. And yeah, you're going to want to tune in tomorrow night.
Bring your popcorn. Bring a friend. Everybody tune in, because tomorrow is going to be absolutely. You could try and guess, and you would be wrong. You try and guess all day. You'll be wrong.
No, yeah, I could never have guessed it.
Me either. Neither.
Not a chance. But again, this is how we defeat these lunatics, right? We just expose them for the hypocrites and the scumbags that they are. Because here's the thing, they gratuitously and for no good reason except they just want to feel sanctimonious, or they're just bitter, angry, vicious little people. You almost got me. They want to destroy people they don't like for imagined slights or things that happened many, many years ago. Well, as Saul Alinsky says, make the enemy play by their own rules. And back to what was exposed last night. I don't care. I'm mostly focused on the legal case, although I am also, to some degree, focused on the PR case. If all that salacious material in the TCPA filing is relevant, then what you exposed yesterday is just as relevant. How does it feel, guys? How does it feel?
And what I expose tomorrow is far more relevant, I would say.
Yes, absolutely.
Tomorrow is not even pretend relevant. And one of the defendants better be watching. And oh my God, you better be ready.
I think it's safe, Nick, to presume that the defendants, much like the plaintiffs in this case, are watching you from time to time. Actually, I don't know if the plaintiff watches you or not. I watch you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if the plaintiff watches me, he probably hates me. So we'll see. Okay, so I've got a couple things. We've got a couple things to do before I kick you off. I'd like to talk about your case a little bit today. Whatever you're willing to talk about. And I've got a bunch of super chats. Many of them are for you specifically.
Okay.
So I want to make sure we get those before we kick you off. So let me read like 10 of those. We'll talk about the case some, and then we'll go back to super chats. Okay. And then that way people know that we're getting into those, and then I'll kick you off, and then we'll go. Okay, so this is from the Pie Baker. This is 3 hours ago, so this is long before the show. It says, if Funimation does not earn my annual subscription by its renewal date, I will be forced to spend that money on a GoFundMe of my choice, or give it to a YouTuber in need of the removal of blood from his alcohol system, or perhaps both. We shall see. I like the way you worded that, Pie Baker. Siren Jag says, I finally had to mute the most Jabba-esque of Kickvic lawyers because ordinary people aren't qualified to make the medical diagnosis of pedophilia on Twitter, and it broke his brain that a layperson smacked him down. I ignored him bitching for 3 days. Oh no. Wait, are you talking, you say the most Jabba-esque of Kickvic, is that Andrew Parker? Is that A Park? Oh God, I hope not. That guy, man, I want to like him so much, but he's...
Andrew Parker, I'm not familiar with him as he.
He's the guy that was misdoxed as Lord Saito, which turned out to be his brother.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Is he still bleating on about that?
Oh, I don't know. He's probably whining about it. But who cares? I don't.
I don't.
Me either. Shockingly, I've
I have an update on I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I am not filing a TCPA motion.
Oh, against the State Bar of Texas.
Correct.
Okay. Man, I wonder. No, I want to. My computer's trying to restart. I'm in the middle of a broadcast, but that's
despair of having anywhere near as many complaints against me as you have, but
I can't tell if I'm up to 9 or 10 because my 9th one was technically 2 different people sending the exact same complaint on the same form, and it actually said complaint 1 of 2.
Yeah.
So is that 9 or is that 10?
I think it's 10. I think it's the number of complainants that
the Guinness people were at Bubba Fest, and I asked them if there was a world record for the most number of ethics complaints received by a lawyer. And the lady who was supposed to know all of that stuff said she doesn't think so, but I'm welcome to apply.
I think you're going to do more than 10.
How many is it, though? Because, like, there's...
Well, I mean, man, there's some bad lawyers out there.
Right, but they usually get caught. Right? Well, they get the ethics complaint, and after, like, 3 or 4, they're gone because they're actually awful. But
that's true.
We're entering a new realm of ethics complaints that have nothing to do with actual practice of law.
Well, and the bar associations are catching up with that. I mean, I talked to someone with the Texas State Bar Association, and she was, she was definitely confirming that they're seeing this. Mine apparently, if what they said is accurate, and I believe it is, mine just slipped through. The examiner happened to be out that day. She was sick for several days, and some clerical person who I am assured was remonstrated with just slid it on through. So, and I told them, I said, you're going to get more. So, and they said, yeah, we know. We're not. You
wish you're going to get more.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You're just trying to catch me, and we know it.
I'm embarrassed at is that my own bar association was less competent at this than yours.
Yeah, mine's been actually very, very good. I have to compliment them because they've always asked the most important question. Is he representing you in the matter, or is he representing a party opposed to you in a matter? If not, what the F are you talking about? Who are you?
Yeah, Texas had some different language, just different enough that someone like Mr. Cohen could slide through. And again, a clerk who really wasn't paying that much attention slid it on through, and
Yeah. All right, let's get through some more of these chats.
Yeah, sorry.
Tucker has a 3-part chat here. 4-part. No, 3. Yeah, 4-part. So let's go through all of them.
It's like 4 discrete. Have some money. By the way, tell Doug that I am hurt that he made fun of my $1.99 chat to him. That was just downright unkind.
I will tell him that
the second super chat, and I paid for that one, by the way.
You paid for that one? Oh, I thought that was a YouTube free chat.
No. The YouTube only gave me the one free chat that I sent to you. That was from the heart, and to be just callously cast aside and ridiculed like that.
Let me address something real quick in the chat. Ty can't file a TCPA against Akiva Cohen because Akiva Cohen doesn't bring an action against him. The State Bar of Texas would be bringing the action, so Ty would have to file against them. But it appears, and Ty will probably not confirm nor deny this, but it appears that it's likely to be dismissed post haste.
It's been recommended to be dismissed. There'll be another committee look at it, but
yeah,
I'm not too worried about that.
All right, so let's get these Tucker chats here. Monica is backing up Ron. The sympathy I have for her is rapidly collapsing. If she is not willing to admit there's a problem, then fine, she can burn with Ron, Jamie, and Funimation, and hopefully Sabbath. Speculation, Monica put Ron on his soy-based diet and turned him into a cuck that worships her, as opposed to the cuck that kicks the poop out of women. Him bringing the snack tray is to Monica, and Chad is counseling. Attack Hugger Vic versus actual attacker Ron. We truly live in the darkest timeline. And then finally, God, Nick, stop teasing us. Put it in already. Just the tip tonight, Tucker. Just the tip.
No, sorry.
God. Sorry. This is a family stream. Blink your eyes 1400 says Kick Vic is saltier right now than Carthage was after Rome was done with them. Mm-hmm. Got my interview tomorrow morning, and all I can say is my future looks brighter than Ron Toye. Hey, buddy, good luck. Good luck. Hopefully good things happen.
I don't know why the other side is upset. It sounds to me like they're being held to the same standard that they are holding everybody else to. Actually,
no. I wanted to talk about that, too.
Right. No, I know where you're going with that. That's actually not true.
They suddenly immediately want proof, despite there being restraining orders, despite there being divorces, despite there being affidavits made under oath, despite there being court cases. They want proof that Ron's an abuser. They want proof of that. Now, I'm going to give it to him tonight. Yeah. I'm going to do that tonight.
Oh, that's right. They don't know what all you have.
No, they don't. And
T. Greg.
Low T. Greg, please.
Yeah.
I don't think they're aware of the other one. Because they were so hard in damage control and spin mode on this one that they focused on this filing and not on the other filing.
Not get you, Nick. How many times do we see this before they go, maybe we shouldn't just, rise to the bait the first time he does it?
One of the con chairs of a convention, the Hawaii Con, is I believe has a PhD in psychology. And I want to have her on my show. Give me your opinion on this. Do you think this would be a good show? I want to ask her to analyze the danger of groupthink in highly educated academic circles.
Oh, man, I'd like to be part of that. I'd like to just be on it. But yeah, no, I think it'd be a great one.
Yeah, because we're seeing this with Law Twitter, right? We've got a bunch of people who are technically authorities discussing with laypersons how things work. And what do they immediately do? They reinforce that authority with each other, and that reaffirms their position without proper analysis.
That idiot from Duke University that beclowned the entire psychiatric and psychological fields by going on MSNBC and comparing the president to Stalin and Mao. That's so completely insanely unhinged. I always say, there are some things that are so stupid that only very educated people can believe them.
Right.
Folks, as many of us know, education and intelligence are two completely different qualities, and judgment is a third completely different qualities. And I'm not even sure. Not only are they not the same quality, I'm not even sure they're correlated, except perhaps to a negative level in the case of intelligence and education. Because I'm not kidding. Some of the stupidest, most, inane people I've ever met have doctorates.
Oh, yeah.
Not doctors, anything anybody actually pay you to do.
No, often highly educated people are particularly idiotic, I found.
Well, because you can bluff yourself out. You can talk yourself into educated people can talk themselves literally into anything.
Oh, when you get an educated circle jerk going, it's over.
Oh God,
it's over. Dysrhythmia says, so we have someone who refuses a simple request to repeat something in deposition, pretends to forget every tweet ever made, and has been accused of wife bashing. Personally, I would not put that in front of a jury. Talenseer says, I may have figured out why Doucette doesn't live with his kid. By the time this Virginian got around to the wedding proposal, the woman managed to wriggle free. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Ron Toye isn't the only one with divorce documents out there.
No.
I know who doesn't have divorce documents or domestic abuse documents or anything other than traffic ticket documents.
Everyone here who doesn't have those things, raise your hand. Yeah.
These hands don't hit women. Why do yours?
No.
Not you, of course.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah. No, and look, I'm not targeting this at any particular person, but no man worthy of that term. It's a woman. Unless it's literally in self-defense or, there's some extenuating circumstance where, serious harm will be done if he doesn't. And I can't imagine what that would be. But to go around knocking women around, men like that, I'll be just taken out back and shot.
What about chopping up dogs? Is that allowed? Ty, I have to get some I have to get some legal advice from you.
Yeah, well, everyone's entitled to my opinion.
Right. So would you recommend that, let's say I have an upcoming pending decision from a judge, okay?
Okay.
So I'm in a suit of sorts, and a judge is about to issue a decision. Do you think it would be wise for me to go around telling people that if the judge doesn't rule my way, he better not have children because they'll be in danger from me? Is that advised?
I would urge you to curtail that tendency.
Okay.
I really wouldn't. And what's funny is, correct me if I'm wrong, but that wasn't that purportedly left on a recording or something?
Well, I don't know that my hypothetical person that definitely doesn't exist in the real world.
But according to the rules laid down by the other side, if a woman accuses a man of doing that, it is deemed to be true.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't know if my hypothetical person realized a recording was occurring.
No, I doubt it. Texas being a one-party state.
My hypothetical is in Texas, actually, coincidentally enough. That was weird.
But I mean, my point is that even if we don't have the recording, if a woman says that he said it in the recording, applying the standards of the other side, then that's conclusive.
Oh yeah, it absolutely happened at that point. Okay, so we've got Blitzky.
Stop this. Take this away before I die.
You want me to eat some nerds to help you with we can commiserate in diabetes?
It's like cocaine. I mean, I'm sitting. Yeah, here I am sitting trying not to overeat sugar these days, and
we can communicate in Wilford Brimley afterward.
Yeah, diabetes.
Listen, Ninja 489. Hey Nick, take my first super chat cherry ever. I was trying to save for today, as today is my and my father's birthday. Hashtag Ron Toye trending on Twitter for hours was great. Also to the transcriber, Ron is a cuck, and a bunch of smiley faces.
So is that guy saying that he and his dad have the same birthday, or is he just saying
yes.
It's like,
yes?
Oh, that's cool.
Happy,
I
happy
had the
birthdays.
same birthday as my younger cousin, who was sort of like a little brother to me when we were growing up. I was like 5 years older, 7 years older than him. No, 5. Sorry. Anyway, but same birthday, and it's always cool because we have a contest to see who gets to text each other happy birthday first. So at 12 o'clock and 4 seconds, I get the text, happy birthday, you old bastard.
Yeah. Blitzky. Okay, I'm going to read 3 more, and then we'll jump into your trial, and then we'll get back to the chats. Blitzky says, I jokingly said not to refer to Ron as a manlet, but after yesterday, the humor is all gone. It's funny how they excuse Ron's abuse, but keep using an old photo to call Nick racist, despite the former being far more recent. Also, no women or minorities were hurt in the making of my picture.
Nope.
They were hurt, maybe, I guess, by being disseminated by someone else a decade later, which I guess if that offends you, be offended. Talenseer says, Latinas have a reputation for a fiery temperament. I think the issue is Moronica is a perfect match. A wife beater and a woman man enough to hit back. Wes Nile Chan says, hey, chat, how long before Soy J. Simpson snaps and goes after Monica? Press 1 for after the TCPA is denied, 2 for after the jury rules in Vic's favor, and 3 for when Monica leaves him for Tyrone the Bulldog. Oh, my God. Wes Nile Chan always brings the spiciest of chats. Okay.
Well, he pays for the privilege.
All right. So, Mr. Beard.
Yes.
Would you like to just tell us a little bit about your trial today?
Oh, sure. Most of the day, I just basically held Amazon Prime's purse, you know.
Okay, so explain what you mean for the people who will decide that that's somehow sexist or something.
Oh, no. Yeah, okay. Okay, so all men of a certain age when they were young at some point got trapped in a store holding their mother's purse because mom, you know, your mom, you'd be like you sitting in the shoe section in a chair. Here, hold my purse while mom goes off and does something. And it is absolutely the most humiliating and agonizing thing for a kid in junior high to have to do. Right. No, actually, it was a divorce case. Carrie was lead on it. I was brought in because they were fighting over a business, and you know, businesses are kind of one of my deals. So, you know, I handle all the cross-examination of the other side and all this kind of stuff. The cool thing I was bragging to you about, only law nerds would appreciate this, is in 22 years of doing this, I've accumulated a great deal of experience buying and selling businesses. And, of course, as part of that process, you learn how to calculate their value. You know, there's well-understood metrics, and, you know, you make certain adjustments, financial statements, and all this. So we're at the end, and it's a family business, and you know, and I kind of feel bad for opposing counsel because he really didn't have a strong hand to play. Caught his client on the stand lying. I mean, just like, how many times did you do this? Once, and we opened up the bank statements and showed that he'd done it 73 times. Something. I mean, it's one of those horrible ones. But anyways, the judge is saying, you know, I don't know. We didn't have experts testify. The judge is going, I don't know how to value this business, and I'm not sure. Do I have the information necessary? And I said, yes.
Right. Real quick, if you're going to value a business with expert testimony, one of the parties has to bring the expert, which means they have to pay the expert. Yeah. What's it cost? What's a business valuation cost?
Oh, you know, here in timing to get one of the good ones, I don't know, $25,000.
So like a party has to fork out $25,000 in cash to bring a business valuation
expert. And of course,
expert.
the other party has to do the same.
Right, because they either have to accept the filings that someone or the findings that someone just paid $25,000 for,
right,
or they have to get their own expert to counter those findings and produce, you know, a number that's maybe more palatable through their definitely independent and objective analysis that all experts provide after being handed a 5-figure check.
Well, yeah, and when you're in a divorce, you're in a zero-sum game, right? To anybody out there getting a divorce, if your lawyer says, I'm going to make him or her pay, go get you another lawyer. It's all coming out of the same bucket. It's all coming out of the same bucket. And 99.9 times out of 100, you're going to wind up settling. This case should have settled. I mean, everybody but me thought it would settle on Monday. I didn't think it would settle because I didn't feel like the mediator was good, but he wasn't really good at this kind of stuff. But anyway, but it just so happens that as part of my experience, I can sit down with the financial statements and I can usually derive a number that's, you know, plus or minus 1 or 2 percentage points from what an appraiser will do, based on experience. And you know, yes, there's no probably to it. I could have been, you know, Carrie could have put me on the stand as an expert. But actually, my role was to do direct and cross of the other party, the business owner, and all this.
Sure.
But I got in that wonderful zone where the court asked me, "How do you value these things?" And I said, "Well, Your Honor, you asked." I said, "We use this methodology," and I started expounding on how you do it. And opposing counsel leaps to his feet, says, "Your Honor, Mr. Beard has not been sworn in as an expert, and he is not an expert." I said, "Well, actually, Judge, actually, I am an expert." The judge. By this time, though, I had hooked the judge in to my analysis, and he goes, "Yeah, I understand that. Sit down, counsel. You'll have your chance." So I got in this wonderful realm you occasionally get to, where you're testifying directly to the court as an expert, but they can't cross-examine you. And I kind of did feel a little bit bad not real bad for my opponent, but he was in a tough place. But the problem was, see, he had beat that drum. He had said, "Well, the value is going on and on about the value," and what he wasn't. He got hung up on detail. But the thing is, you got to offer the court a way to solve the problem if you want the court to actually rule your way. Giving the court a solution that doesn't solve the problem is not very attractive. I mean, so we go on and on. We rattle on about this valuation, and I tell him, I said, "Well, I think the business is worth, let's just say $2 million. The actual numbers doesn't matter." I said, actually, I think the business is worth about $1.5 million. They thought it was worth they claimed it was worth $400,000 based on they said so.
Sure.
Said, "Well, why did your client say it was $2 million?" I said, "Because when I did the initial analysis, I felt $2 million was the right number. It was suggested by the equations that we used. However, sitting here today, learning about some of the problems in the business, if I were being advised if I were advising a client in the business of buying these kinds of businesses, I'd say, nah, essentially the face value is overpriced. I wouldn't pay more than about 75%. Well, the thing is that gave me additional credibility because I was actually we were arguing for a higher value. So I, knocked it down 25%, which gave tremendous credibility. And that's another thing that, again, I'm getting to an age where I like to give advice to lawyers. Look, you don't have to try to win every little single tiny point. Another part of this hearing was, well, are you asking for the entire business to be awarded to your client? Well, no, we're not. We're asking for a disproportionate amount, but I can't with a straight face say the guy doesn't own part of the business. I mean, the other side was arguing precisely that. They wanted the business to be awarded to their client completely.
Right.
Just cause. And again, I mean, my
buy her
opponent,
out then.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the problem. In this particular context, there weren't the resources to do that. My opponent is a very good family lawyer, I'm sure. But when you're in these business kind of things, with respect, I just don't think I think he overplayed his hand. I think he made some arguments. He made arguments to the judge that might have flown because the judge probably couldn't have quite followed them. But unfortunately, I knew them very, very well and was able to say, "Your Honor, that's absurd, and here's why. 1, 2, 3, plain English." And so, but anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm bragging. It was a good time, but mostly Carrie won the case. I just kind of stepped in at the last minute, kind of like I did in that first hearing, just
yeah. Well, it's almost like you have a competent team that you're confident in to handle things.
Isn't it? Yeah, and you hear law firms all the time talk about teams. We are the only firm I've ever seen that actually does that. I mean, literally, it's not just 3 independent lawyers kind of just ganging together to do a case. I mean, like right now, Jim is drafting, Carrie is researching, and I'm handling strategy, even on our responses to these motions and stuff. Everybody's got their own job, and in their space. In fact, this morning I got to the courthouse before Carrie did. Opposing counsel walks over to me and starts trying to negotiate with me about trial issues. And I said, Carrie's lead on this. This is her case. And he kind of looked at me like, "Well, you're senior partner." Yeah, but today I work for her. Because it's her case. She asked for my help on a particular area, but it's her case. and that's a sign of a team. So that was a good day. I mean, I love getting into the courtroom and actually being able to do it. It's boring as hell most of the time, but when you're actually going at it, that's when it's fun. And it was good.
Yeah, that's the.
Thank you so much for teaching me how to go to court.
You're welcome. I mean, what would you have done without me?
For
22 years.
Yeah, what did I do this day?
When I was 15, I started teaching you law.
Well, I said that kid, he's got something.
I'm like the Doogie Howser of lawyers.
Wouldn't that be an interesting show if you could put that together? The Doogie Some 15-year-old. I don't know. I've met a lot of lawyers who probably couldn't hang with a really bright 15-year-old.
Most of the lawyers I know couldn't hang with anybody.
My youngest daughter broke down all the affidavits in the Toye Real TCPA motion to dismiss, and she just overheard us talking about hearsay, and she came in and she said, "Here, I've broken them all down. This hearsay." And I look at this thing, Nick, and I went, "Wow." And I said, "Now, honey, that's not hearsay, but only because the law just says there's an exception. It would normally be hearsay." Right. She made fewer hearsay mistakes than, I hate to say it, many attorneys.
Right. Yeah, because hearsay's a mess.
Well, it isn't, except that it's so unintuitive. And when you're in the courtroom, remember, catching a hearsay objection before the question gets answered is the big problem. Right. My opponent slid one in on me. I can't remember what it was, but it was, I just happened to be glancing over at some note Carrie was writing, and it's like, hearsay. I go, no objection, and the guy already blurted it out. We're in front of a judge, so it's like, who cares?
Right.
If it was in front of a jury, you'd say, motion to strike and blah, 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 and all that crap. But it's a judge like, yeah.
Man of One Title says, "What's up, Nick? Just got myself a bottle of 4 Roses specifically for the stream tonight. Can't wait. Cheers to everyone in the chat as well as everyone on the farms. This is going to be good. I just know it." R. McKinney says, "Hey, Nick, today is my boyfriend Jordan's birthday. Hoping you guys could give him a birthday shout out. Also,
happy birthday, Jordan.
Also, thank you. Keep up the amazing work you are doing for Vic. Hey, happy birthday, Jordan."
Indeed. All right. So I got a tiny little Vic story to tell today too. So
okay.
It's pretty funny. So we're at lunch, and the judge did that classic thing of, "I'm going to break for lunch for 2 hours," which is judge speak for the love of God, will y'all settle this?
Right.
I don't have to, but we didn't take the hit. So we're at the burger joint there in the little town, and I happened to glance at Twitter and saw something, and I chuckled and said to Carrie, "Yeah, this is going on." And so Carrie looks at it and she laughed. The client says, "What's up?" And Carrie goes, "Oh, this is in another case where Ty's representing the client," and goes, "He has a man crush on him." It's just Carrie talking. I looked over and I said, "Who doesn't?" And so the client, who's female, goes, "Oh, who is he?" And I said, "Well," so I did the Google image thing, and of course came with pictures of Vix, and I said, "Carrie, which image to show her?" And Carrie goes, she goes, "I like that one because it shows him as both masculine and vulnerable." And I went, "Okay." so I turned it over, and I said, "There he is," and she goes, "Hmm." I said, "Okay, that's enough of this. Let's get back to prep for cross-examination."
Yeah, back to work.
Yeah. Anyway.
Raider J says, "After all this, I'm pretty sure Funny is really not looking forward to having a court declare Toye an agent. Settlement is looking like a good idea, Funny." Nick Sex says, "Hi, Nick. Please say, hey, Beavis. Hey, Beavis. Can we see if Babe watches on?"
Hey, Beavis, this sucks. Yeah. Sorry.
Tofu Hazard says, "Hi, Nick. Yesterday when you were talking about Ty potentially playing clips during an upcoming hearing, I was wondering if you'd seen the clip from 2008 at a convention with Monica and her pedo ex saying how he loves VA whores."
No, I'm not aware of that. If perhaps you could send Nick a direct message on that. We're leaning in that direction.
Yeah.
In that direction of giving some examples of the horrific, of the conduct, because
Yeah, the conduct that they all pretend doesn't actually happen when it's convenient for it to not happen.
It's the whole. And again, I'm not a prude. I don't care, but it's an incredibly sexually charged area, for these people. And I'm sitting here trying to figure out how jelly beans and hair pulling is just so horribly beyond the pale, when you got some of the very same people being videoed being spanked by fans. I mean, come on. So,
right. I'm traumatized from that video. It was horrifying.
Our IT guy, who was one of my very oldest and best friends. We were each other's best men. He came in, he's like, I said, hey, when I hired you, I told you there were going to be days like this. Get back into the salt mines and get that stuff processed so I don't have to watch it.
Bob the Troll King says, your A-cups do not do that wife beater justice, Nick. Hey.
Oh, that's hard.
You shut your mouth or I'll grab my remote. Ty, on the other hand, looks spiffing as per the usual. Give us a good show, folks. I stand with Vic.
Yeah, this is my one of my court suits.
Yeah, you look decent.
No, thank you.
Al Gore invented autism. Oh, by the way, I should let you know I've gotten permission from Lady Rackets. So I think I'll be booking certain airline flights tonight.
Glorious.
So
glorious.
Al Gore invented autism says, pro tip for Ty, don't threaten to kill the judge. Philip,
I would curb that behavior as much as that would be my advice too. I think we're aligned on this.
Philip Stahl says, Ron married a hog, gonna kill your dog, Toye. Diamondback DT says, for future legal story time, more legal haunted places, please. To break up the 9 to 5. Doc Martens are ready for a Texas-sized weasel stomping. Cute little pigs, babe, are better sheepdogs. Thanks for last week's hard reality story. Hey, you're welcome. Yeah, so last Halloween I did a stream that involved the only legally recognized haunted house in the United States. Are you familiar with that case?
Oh yeah, the one. The as I recall, the facts were the seller doesn't tell the buyer that the house is thought to be haunted,
right,
in that community, and so the buyer buys the house, finds out that everybody thinks it's haunted, can't sell it, and sues for failing to disclose that. And the court had an absolute rollicking field day with the puns. I mean, the first sentence is, ordinarily plaintiff wouldn't have a ghost of a chance.
Yeah.
And it just goes, yeah.
But they actually end up, as a matter of law, this house is haunted.
The house is haunted as a matter of law.
Fantastic.
Because it was an impairment. Regardless of whether it's true or not, the local community thought it was, and that affected the market value. Therefore, it should have been disclosed.
Right.
But yeah. So that house is actually out there, still standing and stuff.
Yeah, and I think it sold better actually after they legally recognized it as haunted.
Listen, I think I ought to petition the court here to see if I can get my house, legally.
Blaine 20 says, "Why are you dressed as a high school wrestler, Nick?" Hey, Ty, it was great seeing you outside of Bubba Fest.
Hey, Blaine.
James Ridge says, "I must have missed something. What is the backstory on these Low Teabag Duchette documents?" Well, I don't know. I haven't seen Low T's divorce documents.
Is Douche coming out with some documents of his own?
I don't know. If I were Doucette, I might try and preemptively release my divorce documents so that an aspiring.
Yeah, but so how do you sell that to Mr. T? I mean, I'm going to help you out even further by releasing your embarrassing documents even faster than Nick. I mean,
yeah. Oh, and he also, like a true gentleman, I went through and carefully redacted the names in the documents. He just went ahead and put out Ron's ex-wife's name and all that stuff.
Okay. Douche, you're just a scumbag.
Oh, terrible human.
Scumbag. Well, I mean, I suppose that means we'll probably have to call her lawyer and explain that we didn't do it.
Yeah. I mean...
and perhaps see what he might have in his file that would be of interest too, like, I don't know.
I'd be very curious if he has any audio recordings.
Or transcripts. Well, here's the thing. My guess is, I mean, I'm just speculating, but that affidavit was almost certainly backed up with an actual recording. And
they indicated that it was, and I think that's a bold lie. If that's a lie, that's a bold lie.
Yeah, no. The court would have asked to have heard it. I mean, if you'd walked in and said, he left this recording, he left this on my recorder, the judge would have said, well, do you have the recording? And that would explain a lot about, the decisiveness of the court's actions. But way to go, Greg. You
smart person.
See, you almost drew me in. You're a whaley. You're whaley. You're clever.
I'm gonna sneak it in smoother than that hearsay. Toa 123 says, for Ty, is there anything your firm doesn't cover?
We don't do bankruptcy, though. I have done Chapter 11s before. I got sucked into one. I've threatened them any number of times. Got sucked into one because they thought I was bluffing and I wasn't. We don't do bankruptcy. Gosh, anything else we don't do?
You don't do Chapter 13s, though?
No. We stay away. Bankruptcy is pretty highly specialized. We don't do that. We no longer do SSI disability because the attorney that we did have that did it, left us, and it was an amicable parting and everything. But she went to another firm that was kind of better configured.
We don't do maritime law.
We don't do maritime. Well, I do maritime law.
Oh, my bad.
There's not a lot of it in East Texas. No, maritime law is like super cool, especially if you are a role-playing game master for the science fiction role-playing game Traveler. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not joking about this.
one of the funniest opinions is a maritime opinion, where the court basically ridicules both lawyers for being absolutely incompetent in the most polite way. I'll get you the case site.
No, maritime law is a hoot. I mean, it's a lot like property law in the sense that once you drill down and understand it, you go, oh, that makes perfect sense.
I'm getting demands from the chat, Ty.
Oh boy.
I gotta know if you're okay with this or if we have to wait till you're kicked off.
Okay.
They want the audio. They want the audio teaser. I didn't know.
I don't have to be kicked off, and that way, when I do get kicked off, I can go to bed. So play it.
Okay. Man. Well, you won't hear it.
No.
You won't hear it.
Oh, well, okay. That's fine.
It's brutal that you won't hear it, but Hangouts doesn't let me actually transmit the audio to you.
Can you email it to me?
I can email it to you, or you can pull up the stream and you'll hear it 20 seconds later.
Oh, there is a delay then. That's not my imagination.
No, there's like a 20 to 30 second delay that YouTube implements.
Okay. For no good reason, I assume. Well, I guess there's just process and stuff.
So if you want to pull up the stream, you'll be laughing along with the chat. But it'll be weird because I'll have heard it. So I'll keep measured and cool. Okay.
All right.
All right, guys.
Let's do this thing.
Let's do it. Okay. This is your teaser. You get one. You get one teaser for tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow.
And none of this. Oh, just please one more, Dad.
No. Tomorrow is everything. Tomorrow I will play all of it. But tonight is just a teaser. It's about 20 to 30 seconds. You may recognize this voice. This voice is not an imitation. Let me repeat that. This is not an imitation. This is from Funimation. And from the voice actor you think it is. From the guy you think this is. Okay? So pay attention, y'all. I'm going to play it one time. You get one shot. One shot. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here it comes.
Nick, there's not going to be a problem with me playing it and listening to it, right?
You might want to mute your mic or something, but hold on. Okay. My computer's just being slow.
I'll do it. I got it.
Oh my God. Can I close all of this stuff, please? Oh my gosh. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just waiting. My computer has gone as slow as possible. Oh, you're going to hate me for this. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Here we go. This is the worst timing ever. Ever. I'm blue balling you, but I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to. Come on. I can't even close. Hold on. What? No, close it. I have to close some windows. I have to return some videotapes. Oh my God. Hold on, guys. Are you serious right now? I've got the little wheel. You know the little wheel tie? And I can't even fix it. While we wait, let me read some super chats because I honestly can't fix this. But I want to. I'm not trying to do this to you, but my Windows Explorer is actually dead. Hold on. Hold on. We're working on this. Still broadcasting, okay. Okay. What is killing my something ate my entire CPU usage? Just 1 second.
Okay. Well, so when I was trying to listen to the stream, I couldn't hear you through what you were saying. I could only hear the stream. So I think probably I'll just suffer.
Okay.
That makes us too complicated.
I had to close down Windows Explorer. I'm bringing it back up.
Oh, good Lord. You're worse than Larry's phone.
This is terrible. I'm genuinely appalled.
Are we ever going to do another Chad Dad thing? Because, but Larry's got to bring the phone.
Right. What is this? Hold on, let me kill this. I'm killing stuff that is taking up CPU usage. I have no idea why this is so ridiculous. I feel like a complete jackass right now.
Well, man should know his limits.
This is insane. I have not had this problem before, but it's coming. Okay, so I'm going to read this. I'm going to read the rest of this. The rest of that chat about anything your firm doesn't cover and how is business friendly is Fort Worth regarding tech startups? How business friendly is Fort Worth on tech startups?
Well, Texas in general is friendly. As far as I know, Fort Worth is fine. The northern, like Plano and Frisco and those areas, they're trying to turn themselves into high-tech hubs. But I got to tell you, I like Fort Worth. It's like a giant version of Tyler, which is my town. Fort Worth is huge. I mean, it's a large metropolitan area. It's not.
Oh yeah.
Not some little big town.
I've driven through it in an ice storm.
Oh wow!
Which is funny when you're from Minnesota, watching everybody else crash.
The cities are remarkably different for being only about 30 miles apart. Different architecture, different. I mean, just different. The courthouses are different. I mean,
Right. I am genuinely not trying to ruin everything here.
No, you couldn't fake this level of ineptitude, I fear.
I'm actually enraged right now at what's going on. I just want to.
No good deed goes unpunished.
I just want to play this audio clip. I'm so pissed off.
You got hung up on being the dad who spoils his children, and
Oh my God! Get to the.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing with you, truly.
Okay, I might have it here.
So when it starts playing, I'm going to unplug my earphones and plug them into my device.
I don't have it. Hold on.
If it ever starts playing.
It's never going to start playing. What? I think this might be partly because there's a Windows update pending, which screws up everything.
There is a place in the 9th level of hell, way beyond the plane of fire with the sodomites and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking the very bottom of hell. For the guy that said, let's just have updates just happen whenever we want them to happen.
Yeah. I am so pissed off right now.
And I was in a deal. I had to go to a bunch of investors and tell them that our CEO had just informed us the company was bankrupt. And you walk into a room full of pissed off investors, that ain't good. And I got my little laptop computer and I turn it on and I get that updating. This is Windows 7, I think. Updating Windows 1%, 2%. I'm going. And these investors who have millions of dollars in this thing are looking at me. In fact, one of the investors was an uncle of yours, one that we talked about today. So you can imagine how that went. Oh God, I never hated Microsoft more than on that day.
Yeah, I'm about to murder it right now. Hold on, I'm closing a bunch of stuff. What is this? I don't want this.
Lockhead just darted through here.
Okay, we're gonna try this one more time here. Gator asked me to send it to him. Gator, I can't do anything right now. My entire computer somehow is being used up by flipping Windows Explorer. So, okay, we're gonna just do it. Here we go.
Chrome has a much different set of problems. Yeah.
Open this up. Here we go. It's coming. It's coming.
Okay. And I'm disconnecting.
Okay.
From the earphones.
Yeah.
Hey, look at those faggot ass clothes. Faggot, faggot, fag, fucking fag. My son's a fag.
Did you guys hear that? Because of the screwed up thing, I'm gonna play it one more time. Oh my gosh, my mouse is going. Okay. Here we go. Let's play that one more time. Here we go.
Hey, look at those faggot ass clothes. Faggot, faggot, fag, fucking fag. My son's a fag.
Did you guys catch that? Let me just see. Maybe I'll play it one more time. Just to make sure it's coming through. Because I'm not watching.
Hey, look at those faggot ass clothes. Faggot, faggot, fag, fucking fag. My son's a fag.
Did you guys hear? Okay, I know you heard it that time. I know you heard it that time. Do you recognize that voice? Did you recognize that voice?
Yeah, that's going to be hard for him.
That's going to be rough, isn't it?
I would say so. I would say so. Because the woker you are, the harder that kind of stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, you have lots of stuff like that, don't you?
Oh, I have way worse stuff than that.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
From other voices that you will recognize.
I'd like to feel sorry for the woke people in companies, getting hoist on their own petard, as the old saying goes, but I really don't.
Yeah, by the way, that's not from the voice actor's personal recordings.
No, it takes place at the studio, right?
That is from the studio. They have it.
Uh-huh.
They kept it.
Homophobic. Ooh. Wow. Yeah. Well.
They kept it.
And this is how you fight back on this stuff. You expose these horrible, horrible people, for the hypocrites that they are. And if companies enable them, well, they got to take the consequences of that, I suppose.
I mean, I think they do, right?
Oh, yeah. They would impose those consequences on you or me.
Oh, man. I think
they are on you. Right, I mean, every time every time we hear this, some idiot popping off about a blackface lawyer, when
a joke
between you and Drexel that they are not part of.
A bunch of Funimation voice actors love to throw that meme around. Lots of moralizers. Wouldn't it be a shame if some of those voice actors were in my little trove of audio clips?
Because I'm a betting man, I'm going to lay a wager that they probably are. Yeah, I think so.
I mean, it
had been a glorious week.
Wouldn't it be a pity if very, very moralizing people like Chris Rager, Chris Sabat, Monica Rial, wouldn't it be weird if they all had little parts in this? I mean,
all these people have criticized you for one picture of an inside joke between you and one of your best friends. We're going to get to hear from them why that's different because they're more woker.
I'm more curious as to why Funimation decided to keep it as a company decision to keep this on Funimation servers.
It would be inappropriate for me to call a party in some litigation I'm participating in an incompetently run firm, so I won't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, I won't do that. Here's the thing. I mean, this is for any company, and I represent, as you know, a lot of companies. One of the things you sometimes have, actually in my world, you don't have to do this very often because I tend to work around people who are genuinely competent executives and so forth. But, companies at the end of the day are just aggregations of people. And if the people inside those companies are acting for their own selfish ends, excuse
Bless
me.
you.
Yeah, pardon me. Then the company is going to suffer. And by my way of thinking, that's theft, effectively. You're okay, Lawcat. Stop messing with them. Okay.
Is he just sitting there hitting the mic like a
come
like
on.
a jerk?
I don't know. She doesn't. No, she has absolutely no intention of coming up here and being insufferably cute like she was at one time. Instead, she's going to keep attacking the cables. What are you going to do? Cats are crazy. My cat has different voices that talk to her, and I guess it's not one of the good voices. No. She's got the big dilated eyes.
It's insane, cat.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's an interesting question for you. What if a company you were representing used intellectual property licensed from another company and then used that IP in such a way as to cause damage to it?
Well, I would be saying to management, we probably shouldn't be doing that. Because not only are we damaging ourselves, but we're damaging one of our key business partners. And they're not likely to appreciate that. A lot would depend, too, on whether or not there are other that business partner can go to someone else. It doesn't seem to me like setting up a voice studio is any big deal. I mean, it's not like setting up a manufacturing plant or a liquefied gas plant or something like that.
Right.
Buy some microphones and some sound rooms and some computers.
Do you know anything of the Toei Animation going after a group called Team 4-Star for something called Dragonball Abridged?
No.
So there's this web series called Dragonball Z Abridged, and it was produced by a group called Team 4-Star. What they did was they took the Dragon Ball Z episodes and they cut them down and chopped them heavily.
Ooh, the Phantom Edit. Way back when Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, somebody recut it, cut it down, and made it into, well, it's still an awful movie, but I mean, made it into a less awful movie.
Right.
But,
so let's say, so they did this, and then they used it and made a bunch of offensive jokes, and they made it less kid friendly, and they made it more edgy, and they revoiced all of these clips. Okay. And Toei Animation was very, very unhappy. Very, very unhappy about it.
They didn't have Toei's permission, and they just put it out there. Were they making money off of it?
I don't know, other than being on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if Toei is that is that protective of their IP, then I don't know, 10 or 15 or 20 or 30 of the kind of recordings that you just played. That could be an issue.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, I know that you'll, of course, have the deepest amount of empathy as you expose these things to the rest of the world.
Oh yeah, I definitely feel very bad.
Hey, real quick, you covered the Con case last night, right?
The
Con, was it Van Linder or whatever the case was, the Fort Worth case?
Yeah, Con versus Vanderlinden.
Oh yeah. Well, so I'm talking to Jim. He's putting the thing together, and Jim goes, I said something like, the burden of proof, and Jim goes, oh yeah, this Con case says it. And I said, oh, let me see it. And I pick up his copy of the case, and of course it's highlighted, it's marked, and it's all this kind of stuff. And I went, Jim, you probably should have told me about this case. Yeah, from what I saw of your analysis last night, I thought it was spot on. Very, a very good case for us, obviously.
Right.
So
yeah, it
will figure prominently in our filings.
It seems like the defendants in your case have set up a bunch of scenarios where only two people, the defendants and the plaintiff, would know exactly what happened, which is pretty similar to the case Kahn versus Vanderlip.
Well, yeah. What happened was, we were in the conference room working on the case, and of course I'm doing what I do, which is pace up and down and rant. And I'm like, how do we do? I mean, all we got to do is just, in theory, if our client simply denies in the affidavit, then for prima facie evidence purposes, we've won. And Jim goes, "Oh yeah, it's in the Kahn case." I went, "What? You had a case on that?" "Oh yeah." And I went, I've been churning on this for 2 weeks, and you hadn't told me. The glory that is the law. Yeah, I think that case they may have appealed it. I don't think the appeal is going to work for them, because I thought the appeals court had pretty solid reasoning, much better than the Dallas Court of Appeals in that case that they brought down last week. Which, since it's Dallas and not Fort Worth, I'm not too worried about right now.
You think? Wait, is there a difference between the Dallas Court of Appeals and the Fort Worth Court of Appeals?
A little bit. Pretty much. I would say there's probably about as much resemblance between the Dallas and Fort Worth Court of Appeals as there is between the Fort Worth and the Austin Court of Appeals. Just in terms of outlook and approach and all this kind of stuff. No, yeah, it's very different.
I still haven't finished this chat. For Nick, have you ever / would you ever cover sovereign citizens on your channel? Oh, I have, and I would. They, from a legal standpoint, they're all horrifically wrong.
Sovereign citizens, is that the people that have their own little bitty tiny countries? Or
no, they believe that the Constitution is invalid, that they are actually under the authority of the Articles of Confederation.
Oh no, they're idiots.
Yeah.
No, they really are, because the problem is all of the states ratified the Constitution as a matter of law. Done. All of your crazy theories aside, done. Although it's an interesting thing. The founders were not exactly charged with creating a new Constitution. They just sort of went down there and they looked at their Articles of Confederation and said, we can't fix this.
Yeah, it was this interesting problem where they needed they had a central government that was as strong as the states, and they needed a central government that was slightly stronger than the states. Right. And then through the Supreme Court, we created a central government that was immensely stronger than the states.
Yeah, well, sure. The founders, they're brilliant men. I really wish they had given a lot more thought to the proper role of the Supreme Court. I'm not saying the Supreme Court is not.
They did, though. They did. Here's my vision.
Yeah, that's right. They didn't see the 14th Amendment.
Let me run through my vision of the Supreme Court from the founders' perspective. What I think the Supreme Court was supposed to be.
Thanks, sir.
I don't think the Supreme Court was supposed to be a single court. I think the Supreme Court was supposed to be a circuit above all of the other circuits. And that the Supreme Court was not in any way limited in the number of justices that it had, other than through the Judiciary Act, which came later. So,
Marbury versus Madison, do you agree that
I think Marbury versus Madison is a massive power grab.
Yeah, me too.
By the courts, and it
clearly is. The question is was that anything even vaguely imagined by the founders?
No, not at all. I don't think, because in Marbury, what they did was they used extra constitutional authority to rein in the other branches of government. They went outside of their bounds to say that they could actually review, from a constitutional perspective, the validity of an act of the legislature and the president.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're right. First of all, the idea that we're a triumvirate government, I'm not sure that that's really. I'm not sure you can find that solid in the writings of the framers. I mean, they, as I recall, and it's been many, many years, but as I recall, they were mostly concerned with the president versus the Congress. I mean, that was their,
right.
It was a bipolar kind of thing. I don't remember them saying yes, and we have the court in the middle. What I don't understand is, well, actually, I do understand, but it's unfortunate that the Congress and the presidency allowed them to get away with that. The problem is that our nation's political class was of indeterminate quality between the War of 1812 and the American Civil War, and
Right.
it got worse. It got worse. I mean, right before the American Civil War, we had the worst political class we had ever had and have ever had, except arguably the class we've got now, which are world class, incompetent, and stupid. We had managed as a nation to put the Civil War off for 75, 80 years. I mean, that war could have happened at any point from about a year after the American Revolution on. And successive generations of leaders and statesmen managed to find ways to compromise and work that around. And then by the 1850s, it's like, well, you know what? We're not going to do that anymore. We're just going to let it happen. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have had the Civil War and gotten rid of slavery. What I'm saying is that, a better political class might have avoided the most destructive war in American history.
Yeah, there's all kinds of problems with this. I mean, my main problem is that they use authority that is outside of Article 3 of the Constitution to say that the president and the Congress were using authority outside of Article 1 and Article 2, which is just silly. That they would have to use a power that was not enumerated to stop them from using power that wasn't enumerated. And I think that the Supreme Court could have been literally thousands and thousands of judges, just with an overarching sort of.
Yeah, I can see that.
It would just be the highest appeals court.
And, I mean, look, you're empowering 9 people whose sole claim to fame is that they scored really well in law school and have law degrees. You're allowing 5 of them to enact laws, and there is nothing that can be done about it except to amend the Constitution, which is virtually impossible, unless you have just an astonishing amount of consensus on something. So now I'm not, right now, the Supreme Court we've got is okay, but I'm not a big fan of it as a concept, because judges should not legislate.
Well, and we've expanded beyond the Supreme Court now. We're giving federal district judges the authority to enjoin the actions of the president across the entire nation. That's insane.
I'm sorry, that is absolutely asinine. I'm utterly opposed to that, and I keep hoping the Supreme Court will. But you're asking the Supreme Court to rein in the power of their underlings.
Yeah.
It's like we're going to be in front of someone who works for the government, and the other side is the IRS, and they are the government, and we have to be realistic about,
Well, and the other thing is, what people don't understand is while the vaunted and venerable Supreme Court justices are supposed to be above all that, they definitely consider their legacies. They definitely consider their reputations.
Look,
and
I don't. We're not supposed. We lawyers are not supposed to badmouth the courts. Okay, we really aren't. It's an ethical violation for us to bring disrepute on the courts. But I think anyone who says the justices are apolitical needs a legal guardian, because that is so demonstrably untrue. It's not funny.
Right. To be fair, Ruth Bader Ginsburg may need a casket.
Well, I was always of the theory that she's like Keith Richards. She's never gonna,
Well, I guess if you just transfuse yourself with teenager blood all the time.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting, be a very interesting thing. If I'm not wishing demise on her. I don't, whatever. But there's going to be a huge fight, and I think the left is going to lose hard, because I think the president will appoint Barrett. And I don't know how you're going to go after a female justice. She's got impeccable credentials. The left doesn't like her because she's an originalist, but it'll be interesting to see how they try to Kavanaugh her. I'll go out on a limb and say it'll be a nanny. She had a nanny that was illegal or something, but I just don't think that's going to fly this time around.
Yeah,
Kavanaugh demonstrated that all you got to do is say, no, I'm not resigning. And make those gutless weasels in the Congress actually do their damn job. In the Senate, do the damn job. And
yep.
So.
Yep. Okay, got a couple. I got to get through some of these chats.
Yeah, and you got to get rid of me because you got stuff you got to cover.
Let's see, Mr. David Nemo says Ron Toye calls himself the sheepdog that guards the weak. He is more like the wolf that sneaks into the henhouse. What a piece of crap. Tucker says for the hitman, covering YouTube's cut as well. Oh my god. Drew Kilborn says little boy is currently fighting for his life, dying from meningitis. Family needs help. Dad is a former SEAL who rehabilitates combat dogs. Can send GoFundMe info to Nick. Please help. I moved to tears. Please help this family. Hey, buddy, send that to me in email and I'll run it on tomorrow's show. Drew Kilborn says, please, Nick, boost this GoFundMe. Can't post the link, but I can give you the info right now. This is my last 20 for the best cause. Come to you with tears in my eyes for this poor boy and his family. Hey, seriously, send me the link in email and I can signal boost it tomorrow. It's kind of hard for me to do on the fly here. Let's see. We've got. Okay. Tucker says, any chance we could see Ty's response to the complaint? Oh, your response to the complaint to the Texas State Bar.
Oh yeah. Once all that wiles and winds its way through, I don't actually know why I couldn't give it to you now. Let me run the traps tomorrow, and if I can, I'll give it to you sometime. But one way or another, yeah, it's some of my more scathing and. Well, I'm sitting there in the middle of a work week having to hack through that shit and go.
Yeah, and you have to respond.
You got me. I dropped a cuss word. Ah, well.
Nick
for sure is not too bad.
Nick Thorne says, how many people were absolutely livid after learning this? Put hashtag who's the monster in chat. Sorry, I don't keep up with hashtags. Can't use apostrophes in hashtags. Travis the Bard says, ever heard of Hellcorp? Garbage people in product run by Mr. S.A. Tan. Nope. I don't know who Hellcorp is. Name says, block your ears, Ty. After last night's revelation, the Cut Quartet's TCPA has deflated faster than J. Sean Lemoyne's West Nile ravaged lungs. Vic's case going to beat this TCPA harder than Ron beat his ex-wife. Hi, transcriber.
Well, we do have to get through a judge, and the judge has a great deal of discretion on this. We are confident, but it's kind of like in football, any given Sunday.
Oh wait, no. Cryptage says, I was told police often take a statement immediately after an incident so they can get the most accurate statement. Otherwise, the more time that passes, the more the person's opinions affect their memory. Sounded oddly familiar. Very true.
Oh yeah, mental health professionals, psychologists, they can confirm people can fabricate memories by simply telling themselves it happened long enough and over an extended period of time. That's why things like statutes of limitations exist.
Nova Zero says, Crip Stage, as an Australian, I will refer you to your insurer's pamphlet advice that they give you. Stay calm, call your insurer, even in Australia. Do not squeal for pigs. Cool. No Principle says, Shane Holmberg, by his own admission, engaged in unacceptable behavior at cons. Ron Toye actually abuses women. Jennifer Lynn Hunt makes out with underage girls. Kick Vic, you've said all these are acceptable. You are sick.
How many of these male feminists are we going to have to see exposed as predators? I mean, that's
always one more, because the dark truth is that female feminists desperately want a man to come in and do it for them. And that's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing because because the women that I know, who, by the way, none of them would fall into the category of modern feminist. They don't need a man's help except to open a jar or to get something off a high shelf. But like to accomplish a task or to persevere through something, they don't need some guy to come spread a message for them. They just get it done because they're capable people.
Well, I mean, men and women are wired differently. I mean, we can we can deny that to our heart all we want to, but men want different things than women. These are generalizations, but they are highly, highly accurate generalizations. And so it should surprise. The left is the one that constantly tells us that there's no God, that we just evolved and and that we're just an aggregate of all the species we've ever been, that kind of crap. Well, I mean, if you're primitive humans on the steppes of Africa or on the savannah of Africa, aggressive, capable men are going to tend to survive more, and women are going to want to mate with them because that ensures their own and their children's survival greater. Well, our technological civilization has not been around long enough to actually affect the way we're wired. And so feminists can bleat all they want to that they like soy-filled men, but in every case I've ever seen with so-called strong women, they have despised the weak men they wind up with. Family lawyers are a lot more familiar with that than I am.
It's rough in them streets. Brian Dewig says, shout out to Ty for mentioning Traveler.
Yeah.
Viriday says, just thinking about why Ron and Monica have a joint filing. Is Ron worried Monica will go rogue? I don't know.
I wouldn't attach any particular significance to the joint filing. I think it was just convenient for him to do it that way. I mean, I don't. The judge will distinguish between the two of them. I mean, I don't like to make what I call chicken stuff arguments.
Chicken stuff, is that like breadcrumbs and celery and carrots and onion?
I said I would try. I already dropped one cuss word tonight. Apparently perfection will elude me. And I was getting arrogant too. I was going, doing this, I'm going to finish.
Yeah, no. Fatal System Error says, this is a starter fund for a new computer, you boomer. I'm just waiting for the Ryzen 3950s to actually be released, and then I'm building a computer and I'll live stream it on Twitch. Well, why settle for the 3900 when the 3950 is coming out this next month?
Why indeed?
Travis the Bard says, stop buying your crap from Hellcorp. Buy it from Heaven Industries. What is happening here? Ryu Sketches says, hi, Nick, this is for Ty. I was wondering what is his take on the case of Benjamin Spencer, who is stuck in prison despite being innocent. Are you familiar with Benjamin Spencer?
I don't think so. Is that what state is that in?
I have no idea.
It happens all the time. I mean, I'm not saying it's unfortunate, but yeah. Once the system has decided you're guilty, it's very hard to convince the system that it was wrong.
Wait a minute. I was taught in my civics class that you're innocent until proven guilty.
Mm-hmm. Well, apparently that was before Twitter.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. By the way, Nick, have you ever considered hiring someone to handle the tech of your show? Listen, that was not my tech error that prevented the playing of the audio for so long. It was literally Windows just deciding it didn't want to open anything. And I don't know why. I
actually told a lawyer one time, I said, you remind me of Microsoft. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, your answers are technically correct, but contain the least possible amount of useful information. Technically responsive, excuse me. Your answers are technically responsive, but contain the least possible amount of useful information. He's like, oh, it's very funny. I said, God, I wish it were.
Nick Thorne says, quote, it's not in the case, so it doesn't matter. No, you idiots. This could be in the case in the future, and right now it's about how Ron is double standards.
Specs testimony could be relevant, and the stuff that you turned up last night wouldn't be.
Yeah, that's Michelle Speck's testimony is definitely, that makes a ton of sense.
I'm not saying that we will use it, but it would be kind of hard to mount the table and bleat about that if we did, given the salacious nature of most of their anti-slap motion. Just saying.
Yep. It's about how Ron has double standards and how Monica should run. Law Twitter needs to step out of court. No, Law Twitter's never been in court. Let's see.
Now, Law Twitter needs to stay out there because that just shows how absolutely idiotic people can be just for that dopamine hit.
Yeah.
You
know. Dorothy Pruitt says a penny will be donated to whoever starts a GoFundMe for Nick to buy a new computer. Don't start a GoFundMe for me to buy a new computer. I'm buying one next month. I've been just waiting.
You're right.
I don't exist at all, says hashtag Shun Schemmel. Shane Malbuff says, can you get Keanu Reeves on the show to talk about how much Toye hates dogs? Tucker says, the best cure for feminism is a good dicking. So it was written, so it shall forever be. Oh my goodness. Ask Drexel, he would agree. Anime Fanatic, thank you for the donation. Okay, I've got two to find for you. Where is this? Where is this?
Yeah, you have got to kick me off the show in the next few minutes.
Yep, I am. There's literally, oh my gosh, where is it? Find it. Oh my God. Oh, there it is. How does Texas? So this is from Wolvenar. Says, how does Texas Rule 404 character evidence apply? It's a big question. It's a big question. I can briefly explain this.
Yeah.
Okay, so because it strongly follows the federal rule of evidence 404 on character evidence. Character evidence is
so late, and I've literally been up almost 24 hours. I thought you were like a 404 error on the internet.
No. Rule 404. Character evidence is not generally admissible in court.
Correct.
But there's an exception to Rule 404. Let me pull it up real quick. Rule 404 Texas evidence. Because all right. So this is Rule 404. Character evidence, crimes or other acts. Prohibited uses. Evidence of a person's character or character trait is not admissible to prove that on a particular occasion the person acted in accordance with the character or trait. So you can't say Ron's a woman beater, so he beat a woman on this instance. That would be
kind of like their threats of thousands and thousands of women who are going to come forward.
Right. Yeah. So as along with this, you can't say that, well, Vic abused this person, so he must have abused this other person. That's inadmissible. You can't do that.
Well,
so next.
For the very logical reason that that's a stupid argument.
Exceptions for an accused. In a criminal case, a defendant may offer evidence of the defendant's pertinent trait, and if the evidence is admitted, the prosecutor may offer evidence to rebut it. So
that's part of the giving the criminal defendant every benefit of the doubt and every right.
That allows a criminal defendant to raise a trait in their own defense. Mm-hmm. That doesn't allow a prosecutor to say, look, they stole on this occasion, this occasion, this occasion.
Right. One-way ratchet.
Right.
My pastor can show up and say, Ty is a very, very honorable man. I've never heard him lie, yada, yada, yada. And then, of course, the prosecutor can rebut that by putting somebody up and say, nah, he's a scumbag.
Right. And so this is why you generally don't have a criminal testify in their own defense in criminal court, because once they say, hey, I'm a good guy, hey, I'm an honest person, hey, I don't steal things, suddenly it opens the door.
Yeah, that case today had the same kind of situation. The valuation stuff became an issue in the case because the other side brought it up on cross-examination. Since we didn't have experts to testify, there should have been nothing on there. The other side brought it up. Rather than object, I said, okay, now we might have an opportunity to get our valuation arguments in.
Yep.
That's the thing in the law. When you open the door, just in general, when you open the door, stuff that you might not have otherwise been able to talk about becomes, admissible.
Right. In a this would be used by the defendant in an action.
Right.
So a defendant accused of would be
see exhibit, Z. We probably won't do that because it's not my style, but it certainly would be. It'd be hard for them to raise a serious objection given the nature of their pleadings.
Okay, so then the other relevant section is section B, crimes, wrongs, or other acts. Evidence of a crime, this is prohibited uses. Evidence of a crime, wrong, or other act is not admissible to prove a person's character in order to show that on a particular occasion the person acted in accordance with the character. Mm-hmm. That's a very specific prohibited use. You can't say that because someone beat his wife on this occasion that he beats his wife on another occasion. You can't do that.
Or you can't offer, I don't know, for example, testimony that he abused someone on this day to prove the proposition that he abused someone similarly on some other day.
Permitted uses.
I kind of think we sort of might have some objections on 404.
Permitted uses. Notice in criminal cases. This evidence may be admissible for another purpose, such as proving motive, opportunity, intent, preparation, plan, knowledge, identity, absence of mistake or lack of accident. On timely request by a defendant in a criminal case, the prosecutor must provide reasonable notice before trial that the prosecution intends to introduce such evidence other than that arising in the same transaction in its case in chief. So that last part doesn't matter because that's in a criminal trial. For this case, the evidence may be admissible for another purpose, such as proving motive, opportunity, intent, preparation, plan, knowledge. It's all about how you present the evidence, what your evidence is.
That's the thing that newbies to our legal system, I know I struggled with it initially, is the idea that you can introduce evidence for one purpose but not another. And of course, when you're an eager young law student, you say, yeah, but how does the brain separate? And the professor just kind of looks at you and goes, I don't know. The judge issues an instruction to the jury, and you're going, oh yeah, I'm sure that's all it'll take. It's just judge tell them not to use it that way. That's where some of the skillful aspects of advocacy come in.
Right. Carolus Rex says, hey Ty, is there any chance for Mars Girls deposition? Also Nick versus Ron and bring Sabbath. No comment at this time, I assume. Right now, again,
we're going to sue people that matter. So, interpret from that what you will.
Right. Cody Byer says that Sean clip is from a joke outtake. Dub companies do it all the time. They famously included the ones from Berserk as a DVD feature. Funny stopped releasing theirs. Looks like we now know why. Gonna be tons of material.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking of, an outtake filled with homophobic slurs is going to be pretty hard for the woker than thou.
Yeah, and if it were just homophobic slurs, I mean, that would be one thing.
Yeah, well, if there's homophobic slurs, gee, I don't know, might there be racist slurs?
There might be all sorts of stuff. We'll see tomorrow. I haven't listened to all of it.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to all of it. Joseph TX.
Because we really are going to be gearing down hard on getting our responses out tomorrow. So
yeah.
Who am I kidding? Of course I'm going to listen.
Joseph, well, I've sent them all to you, so just in case you need them.
Yeah, that's right. I could just do that.
Joseph TX says, it's funny I've dropped a nuke on them, but little do they know I only took a handful of documents that had interesting titles, and I had no idea what I even had. Tomorrow I shall go and get all of the filings if I can sneak off of work.
Joseph, love you, bro.
There you go. Anime Fanatic says, hey, Nick, did you hear?
Reasons?
I'm sure. It never matters.
Yeah, because shut up. None
of it ever matters. And by the way, if you guys
of your stream, as always, I thoroughly enjoy our interactions. Thanks to the guys to everybody in the stream. It's a hoot. Tomorrow and the next day are going to be very intense. Those of you who are religious, if you would call upon your respective deities and ask them to give us wisdom, I'd appreciate it, because we can always use a little bit more. But,
there's a dilemma. On Friday, I leave for family camp. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
I don't. Oh well, that's interesting. You want to bring your gear or something? I think it highly unlikely that our stuff will be filed substantially before the midnight deadline, because it's when you have OCD partners who just keep tweaking and tweaking. I finally have to just rip it out of their hands and say, no, we've got to file it. Motions are never completed; they're just simply abandoned.
Right.
So I figure by about 11:30 on Friday night, it's gonna be like, okay, would you please hit send?
I am going to bring my gear, and I will try, but I don't know what the live streaming capability will be. But we'll work on it. We'll work on it.
I bet we can figure something out. Like I said, I'm going to get up Saturday morning after we get all this done. I'm going to go and I'm going to embrace my inner nerd and hang out with the Frog God guys for a while. They're going to be at ReaperCon. So,
oh, have fun with that.
Yeah. So, well, you know, look, it's always cool to go to these cons as an insider. I mean, you know, that's even the anime cons when I'm not even an anime guy. It was cool to go in as an insider. Oh, hey, I think there's a badge for me. You know, oh
yeah,
yes. I'm not one of the rabble down there on the floor. You know,
skipping that first line is, oh my gosh, that's always nice.
All right, man. Hey, you have a good one.
Yeah, you too, buddy.
To the rest of the stream, it's good to talk to y'all. I am going to get some well-needed rest. I think I'm up now 22 hours. I was up like at, I don't know, 3:30 or typical for a trial day. I can't sleep. I listened to you, I think, probably until about 1 o'clock, and then crashed and ended up at 3:30 or 4. So,
yeah, go to bed, Ty.
All right, yes, sir. All right, goodbye, everybody.
Later, buddy. Talk to you soon. Okay, let's get rid of this. Oh, there was... Whew, sorry about that static, y'all. Now, you guys were requesting something. What was it? Why do you want me to... I feel like you wanted me to play more of this, or play this audio. Now, I've seen you. You the chat are wily. You the chat are wily, evil denizens, and you guys do this thing where you try and get me to violate what I've said. You try to get me to play more clips for you tonight, and I will not do it. No matter how many cool, like, little legal arguments you came up. You said 20 to 30 seconds. Okay, well, it was like 5 or 10 seconds, but I just got it wrong. I'm sorry. I was thinking of a different clip that's longer. So this is just a couple seconds, but you know, you think that little, like, technical argument is going to get me to play more, but no, because I got to play all of it tomorrow. All that I have. I'm sure there's more, but I'm going to play what I have tomorrow, and we're going to talk about it. And we're going to probably play it over and over again and talk about it and really just go ahead and dissect what's been going on here. Why does it say T. Greg Doucette? I thought it might be funny to watch his Twitter followers decrease in real time. I don't know. Maybe that's not funny to you. It's funny to me. By the way, when I created that widget, it was at 29,911. Hashtag never forget. But now it's at 29,907. So we'll see if it keeps dropping. He's so good. He's so good at marketing that he manages to lose followers all throughout the day. So I figured why not just see if it happens during the show. That's the live feed, and if it updates, hold on. I'm waiting. I'm just waiting. I think this Windows update has completely hosed everything on my computer right now, as it often does, and I'm just waiting for the flipping thing to open, and I'm gonna play it again, and then we've got this Toye document. Is there video with the audio? Oh, come on. God is good, but he has not provideth in that way yet. Let me get this next document while we wait. while we wait. Why is it taking so long? Oh. Okay, so we're going to do one more, well, 2 documents today. We're going to do 2 documents today. And, see. Well, at least this one's working. Why that one is not? I wonder if one of my hard drives is having problems. Oh, do I have this one already? Oh, I do. I'm gonna pull that one up. Oh my gosh, open up, you idiot. Sorry, I'm getting very, very annoyed at Windows Explorer right now. This is the most frustrating thing I've had to deal with so far. This is insanity. No, wait an hour. I don't want to restart my computer in the middle of a show. Ever. Ever. And I never want to do that. I need to... Oh, God. I'm good. Read the super chat. Yeah, I'm not worried about pausing and stopping the updates via command prompt. That's not the point. For some reason, my file explorer is running exceedingly slow. Here, now it's fine. Here we go.
Hey, look at those faggot-ass clothes! Faggot, faggot, fag, fucking fag. My son's a fag.
What is that?
Hey, look at those faggot-ass clothes! Faggot, faggot, fag, fucking fag. My son's a fag.
What was that, Schemmel? What did you say?
Hey, look at those faggot-ass clothes! Faggot, faggot, fag, fucking fag. My son's a fag.
Why would Sean Schemmel say this?
Hey, look at those faggot-ass clothes! Faggot, faggot, fag, fucking fag. My son's a fag.
Why would he say this as the voice of Goku? Like he's using his voice that is associated with Toei's property.
Hey, look at those faggot-ass clothes!
Why would he do
Faggot,
that?
faggot, fag, fucking fag. My son's a fag.
Why is he shaming Gohan? That's a weird thing. Maybe I could turn it. Is it too quiet?
Hey, look at those faggot-ass clothes! Faggot, faggot, fag, fucking fag. My son's a fag.
Why would he do this? Is that Sean Schemmel
Hey,
again?
look at those faggot-ass clothes! Faggot, faggot, fag, fucking fag. My son's a fag.
Now, people are asking who wrote this script. Sean Schemmel. It's not a script. It's not a script. This is a recording done. This is a recording done while they're just kind of warming up and ad-libbing and getting ready for their recorded lines. And they choose the content that they say, and then Funimation chooses to keep it. Let's repeat that again for the people in the back. Sean Schemmel chose to say that. He has an open mic, he's warming up his voice, or he's keeping it warm between takes, whatever it may be. He's gonna talk like Goku. He's gonna get ready. Hey guys, he's gonna go out there and do all of that. He has literally anything in the world he wants to say. Now imagine, all you need is one mic, one chance, right? You got one chance to say whatever you want on Earth, anything. Sean Schemmel chooses.
Hey, look at those faggot-ass clothes! Faggot, faggot, fag, fucking fag. My son's a fag.
Why would Sean Schemmel, with anything, he could choose literally anything in the world to say, he says this.
Hey, look at those faggot-ass clothes! Faggot, faggot, fag, fucking fag. My son's a fag.
Man, That seems, I mean, that's a little crass, I think. Oh. Wow. I don't know. I think I would say something else. But that's, it's not me, it's Sean.
Hey, look at those faggot-ass
Sean
clothes. Faggot, faggot, fag, fucking fag. My son's a fag.
And I mean, and then the most important part, Funimation keeps these. They could delete that, right? They don't need that. Okay, so Sean says it in a studio, whatever. They keep it. They keep it. Why? Why would they keep that? Are they going to sell it to people? You think there's context as to why he said those exact words? Oh, I highly doubt there's context to it. I highly doubt there's context to it. Don't start making apologies.
Hey, look at those faggot-ass clothes. Faggot, faggot, fag, fucking fag. My son's a fag.
Why are you trying to give...
Hey, look at those faggot-ass clothes. Faggot, faggot, fag, fucking fag. My son's a fag.
Why would you give Sean Schemmel the benefit of the doubt on this? Or Funimation? This is the thing, y'all. This is the thing. This is Funimation's culture. These are the people who started the company. These are the people who they choose to associate with. These are the jokes they tell behind closed doors. And far be it from me, I don't care that he said this. I mean, I would try and say something funnier and more offensive. But that's me, right? I'm a shock jock. I'm a jackass. Everybody knows I'm a horrible, racist, bigot, whatever. I hate everybody, and I will tell all sorts of offensive jokes. But I'm not Sean Schemmel. I'm not Funimation. I'm not working with Toei's IP. I'm not representing the voice of Goku. I'm the voice of Nick Rekieta. That's it. That's the only person on Earth that I represent. Nick Rekieta, Nicky Rackets, Rekieta Law, whatever you want. I'm all of those things, kind of. Rekieta Law is an LLC, so there's a little bit of distinction. But generally speaking, I represent me. I'm not out there. I'm not the voice of Goku.
Hey, look at those faggot-ass clothes. Faggot, faggot, fag, fucking fag. My son's a fag.
You think Japan's like 87-year-old woman or whatever who voices Goku, you think she would be caught on a hot mic saying this? I mean, maybe she would. She's 80-something, right? She's got some older tendencies. But this is the point. I don't care about the joke. I'm not offended. I'm not offended by anything, pretty much at all. Like, you have to get extremely personal with me to offend me. I'm certainly not offended by some generic comment and some with some derogatory slur in it. I don't care. I don't care what you say. Ever. But I'm not the people who deal with this stuff, right? Toei, Funimation, Sean Schemmel. That's not, I don't know what they think. Now, tomorrow.
Hey, look at those faggot-ass clothes. Faggot, faggot, fag, fucking fag. My son's a fag.
Tomorrow, you get to hear the rest of what's out there. It's not just Schemmel. Now, here's the thing, right? Okay. Here's the thing. This is a culture at Funimation that did some level of investigation on Vic that involved a jelly bean, a kiss that one party says was consensual and one party says wasn't consensual, but is really weird about how it wasn't consensual. And then an off-site proposition of 2 adult women to sleep with him. That's it. Those are the 3 things admitted to being investigated by Sony. Now, of course, they don't admit how they investigated the kiss, the consensual kiss. We don't even know anything about that. But that's the only evidence admitted so far as to what the investigation entails. Those 3 events at best. That's it. Okay? That culture. They wanted to preserve the culture. It's too, that his actions were too offensive. That jelly bean joke. Oh my God, did you hear? He made a sex joke about a jelly bean.
Hey, look at those faggot ass clothes.
He made a sex joke about a jelly bean.
Fucking fag. My son's a fag.
Remember, they have to back this up. They have to back this up. This is their culture. And that's the important part of this. This is not just random, some guy said something. I don't care. Again, I don't care about that at all. I'm not offended by the words. I have used the derogatory F word in my past. I would probably use it again in the future. Never to actually denigrate an actual gay person. That's never the purpose of that word in my book. But if you're going to do that, go ahead. I don't care what people do. However, I find it very funny that the same people are moralizing. They're out there telling us what is. Right? They're telling us what it is to be moral good people, and how Vic and others and me are not moral good people. And then here they are. This is what they are behind closed doors. And tomorrow, you'll get to see the rest. You'll get to see the rest of what these good people say behind closed doors. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. So, it keeps playing at random? What are you talking about? It doesn't keep playing at random. I don't have my headphones on. I can't hear it. So sorry if that keeps happening. It's probably my computer. You guys know me. I'm a terrible boomer. I have no idea. Okay. So we've got this weird thing. I've got to go through this document, and then if I don't get to it, and I just keep trying to deal with the technical issues that we're having during the show. If I don't get to this document, then we're never gonna get done. And I've got Twitch thoughtery to do tonight. Twitch thoughtery galore to do tonight. So we've got to get this done. So here we go. But tomorrow, let's see what. You guys can, of course, you guys will tell me, right? Tomorrow. I am hyping what's happening tomorrow heavily. And this is my credibility on the line. You guys will, of course, tell me, I think I have way worse stuff than this to play tomorrow involving some other people. I will need y'all's input. I will need all of your input to tell me if I'm actually right, if there's worse stuff or not. I don't know. I don't know if there's worse stuff, that's going on than this. I think it's worse. I think it's worse than that clip. I think it's certainly going to be worse in the eyes of Toye, but I don't know. You guys will have to help me out with that. So, please do watch tomorrow, noting that there will likely, the likelihood of a stream on Friday or Saturday is considerably lower. And I really want to do that stream, but I don't know if I'll be able to or not. Hold on. Let me check this out. Oh, that's lovely. Hold on. We're getting things. What? Oh. Is that still open? No. Oh my goodness. That's not. Oh my gosh, thank you. Okay. So let's transition. That makes sense. Here we go. But you guys will have to tell me what it's like tomorrow to see if there are any worse recordings. I don't know if there are
look
not.
at those faggot ass clothes.
I think they're very bad. But
Fucking fag.
I always trust the chat's opinion. So here's what I'm doing. Right now I'm redacting this other document that we're going to go through. But let's see. I can do, oh yeah, we've got this one pulled up right here, right? When did Sean say that? Well, I don't know when he said it. I don't have the date on it. Can you dab? I've done dab. Okay. Here we go. So let's do this. I'll work on that redaction between this document. Yesterday, I showed this document right down here. This one, right? And I got criticized for this. There's no file number. There's no file number. He whited it out. I didn't white out the file number. There's no file number on this document because it's a 12th page. It's a 12th page. Here's the first page. It's got a file number and a filing stamp on it. Right there. See? This is an application for a protective order. So we're going to, let's see. We're going to go through this application for a protective order real quick. It's not crazy. It's not super in depth. And then we'll talk about how the resolution of that went.
Hey, look at those faggot ass clothes. Faggot.
Application for a protective order. Discovery level. Discovery. So this, I have redacted the name. Doucette just went ahead and doxed her name. I think probably doxed their old address. I don't know if that address is associated with anybody. I don't do that. But here's the file number and here's the file stamp. This was actually filed in court. And I'll talk to you about the resolution because that was the big gotcha. The big gotcha was that there was, the resolution involved a non-suit a year later. But I'll talk about the actual resolution of how this played out because I have that document. I have that one. So, rules of civil procedure, objection to assignment of case to associate judge. Applicant objects to the assignment of this matter to an associate judge for a trial on the merits presiding at jury trial. Parties, this application for a protective order is brought by blank applicant. What? Turn off the recording? Why? The audio is still playing? I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with that. Hopefully, let me work on, see if I can fix that.
Hey, look at those faggot ass clothes. Faggot. Fucking fag. My son's a fag.
The application for a protective order is brought by blank applicant who is a resident of Tarrant County, Texas. The last three numbers of applicant's driver's license number are blank. The last three numbers of the social security number are blank. This application for a protective order is brought for the protection of the applicant who is a resident of Tarrant County, Texas. Respondent is Ronald J. Toye III, who resides in Tarrant County, Texas. Process should be served on respondent at his place of business located at blank. Applicant is spouse of respondent. Played like 15 times? What are you talking about? Hold on. I gotta listen. I don't believe you guys. This is ridiculous. Respondent has engaged in conduct that constitutes family violence. So this is an application. So this is written from the perspective of the applicant. This is not a court order. Respondent committed acts that were intended by respondent to result in physical harm, bodily injury, assault, or sexual assault, or were threats that reasonably place applicant in fear of imminent physical harm, bodily injury, assault, or sexual assault. Respondent acts, therefore, constitute family violence. Guys, I'm not hearing any of this. I don't believe you. Respondent's conduct was reasonably likely to harass, annoy, alarm, abuse, torment, or embarrass applicant. Good cause exists for prohibiting respondent from communicating with applicant except through respondent's attorney or a person appointed by the court as requested below. The residence at blank is leased by applicant. The applicant is Ron Toye's ex-wife, second ex-wife. This is the second ex-wife, not the first one, okay? So the ex-wife has the lease. Ron isn't even on it at this point. Take my headphones off. Okay. Request for a protective order. In this application, protected person means applicant. Applicant requests the court after notice and hearing to issue its protective order, prohibiting respondent from committing family violence as described in section 71.004 of Texas Family Code. Prohibiting respondent from doing any act that is intended to result in physical harm, bodily injury. So this is, I don't think I actually want to go through this whole document. I want to point out that this is their application for, oh shoot, I need to pull up the next document. I forgot to do that. 1 second. We'll pull this up. This is the application for it, and I have the actual disposition. This one, I will admit to being a little bit mistaken yesterday, although I don't think I definitively said this. I implied that this order was granted. This order was not specifically granted. This order ended in a settlement. And we're going to go through that settlement in just a moment. And that's where the non-suit comes into play. The goal of a protective order is to get the person away, the person who's a danger, away from the person not in danger. Now, you can do that through a protective order, or sometimes, if you can talk to the other party, you can actually agree with some sort of settlement. And that settlement will, hold on, I have to get rid of this for a second. You'll have to bear with me. I've got to pull this up, and I don't want it to immediately. I don't want it to immediately show, because I will. There's on this one. There's very little to redact, but I need to make sure and redact just a couple things. So here we go. When you resolve these things by settlement, part of the agreement can be very simple. Let's just have them agree to not do anything that would cause the person that would cause them stress and stuff like that. Okay, we're gonna get rid of this one. Almost done. Very short. Now, again, I know that this person has been doxxed, but I don't, despite all of the rampaging nonsense. Oh my God, this is, I hate this. Stupid headphones. Despite all of the bluster of the other parties, I don't actually do that. Okay. But you can resolve this if the person gets what they need, right? Right? That's how that goes. Okay, almost done. Okay, so here we've got all right. I can apply these redactions, and then we can look at this. Played again? Come on. Don't you dare. You're messing with me now. You're messing with me now. I don't believe you at all. Chat, you've burned me too many times. You've broken my trust. Okay, let's pull this back up. So here we are. So here is what happened with this case. Am I looking at the right thing? Yes. Yes. Okay, so this is what happened. So what happened after that application for a restraining order is two things. First, an ex parte temporary restraining order was issued when they applied for it. Very, very common for this to happen. Now, when an ex parte order is issued, the court schedules a hearing within a certain amount of time. When that order was issued, both parties were ordered to appear on November 5th. November 5th, which I believe, this is signed on November 5th. This document is what happens when you have a motion and you come to some sort of agreement in a courtroom. You have to handwrite it out like an idiot. You sit there and scribble for like 30 minutes while everybody in the courtroom hates you, and you write it out, and then both parties agree to it. It's written on carbon paper. Everybody gets their copy. The judge gets their copy, and then some person transcribes that copy into a legible, nice typed up format later, and the judge will sign that order. But they want an immediate order on these hearings because they need to resolve the issues. So here we go. I said I'm going to get a Ryzen processor. So here we go. So here is the mutual agreement that they came to on November 5th. Okay. This is what happened on November 5th in the court. So orders or agreement. Ron Toye III.
Hey, look at those faggot ass clothes. Faggot,
to continue
faggot,
to pay
fag,
the bills
fucking fag. My son's
of
a fag.
all insurance premiums, rent on the house at blank, utilities at said address, and to make credit card payments, not the total balance, but he had to make the credit card payments. Ronald also to pay child support to the applicant in the amount of $400 per month during the proceedings, by check, by mail to the address, payable on or before the 1st of each month. Okay, so here, come on now. So here's how this played out. They're in a divorce. She's moving for a protective order. Instead of getting a protective order, why don't you want a protective order? All kinds of reasons. You have to forfeit your guns. You have to do all of that stuff. It's not fun. The interesting irony is Ron would be under a different protective order at this time, but that protective order can also play into the ultimate outcome of your divorce proceedings and stuff like that, especially if you've got ongoing custody issues. So here is how they resolved it. Ron pays all the bills, the insurance premiums, the rent on the house that he's not on the lease on, utilities at the address that he can't be at, and to make credit card payments, all of them, but not the total balances. He also pays child support in the amount of $400 per month during the proceedings. So as long as the divorce proceedings are going on, he has to pay all the bills, all the insurance premiums, the rent, the utilities, credit card payments, and child support on top of that on the 1st of each month. He also has to pay attorney's fees to McGrath & McGrath PLLC, which is the applicant's lawyers, in the amount of $500 per month until the balance owed is paid in full. I don't know if you've ever been through a custody proceeding, but that can be a lot of money. Or not even custody, but child support, divorce proceedings. It can be a little amount of money. It can be a lot. So, and the task, the clip is not playing. The clip is not playing. Don't lie to me. So he has to pay all of the bills, plus the child support, plus the attorney's fees of the wife. Who won this hearing? Who won this? What was the exchange? Please, dear God, don't put me under another protective order, because I'm fighting for custody in this other case, right? Now let's see the next part. Property, the property arrangements. The applicant is to keep the 2005 Mercedes E500. Ronald Toye III and parents are to keep possession of the 2007 Mustang, 2007 Chevy Silverado, 2006 Kia Sportage. Both parties to keep all personal effects in their possession. The address, the residential address, will be occupied by the applicant, the wife, and Ronald is not to appear on that property unless by written agreement from, damn it, I missed it. Sorry. Her name's there, but I try not to. Marcella. This agreed mutual temporary injunction is made and to be in effect until a final hearing. So Ron definitely beat that restraining order. Definitely did. And how he beat the restraining order is by offering to pay all of the bills, plus child support, plus giving her the house, only keeping his cars and his parents' cars, and also agreeing to not go to the property without prior written consent. So there you go. There you go. So that's how this resolved. So now what you find, of course, that Law Twitter was screeching about today is that a year later, in October of 2013, the pending application for a restraining order is dismissed for a what's called a non-suit, where basically they say the other party is no longer pursuing this, so we're going to dismiss the action. And when they do that, if you're going to non-suit something, you make a motion to non-suit it, to dismiss the action, and then the other party has an opportunity to respond. I would imagine that a year later, the divorce is done, and the other party decided to just not pursue the restraining order anymore because she's away from that horrifying manlet. I don't know that yet. Hopefully we'll know it once the documents are fully produced. I don't have the final resolution of this divorce yet or when it happened, but we'll know soon enough. But just know that during the pendency of the divorce, all of this happened, and Ron agreed not to be at the property. And he agreed to pay a whole bunch of money, which you definitely do if you're not facing a restraining order. You definitely go ahead and agree to pay for literally everything, plus give extra money in child support. That's a good negotiated deal. Well done. Well done. Trying to not get this stream demonetized, it's randomly playing. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. So that's where we are. That was the result of this application. This is just a form application. This is 11 pages. That's why I'm not going to read all of it. But incidentally, give me just a moment to finish on this other one. Give me just a moment to finish on this other one, because this is something a little bit different. Almost done. This was a little bit confusing for me because I didn't get a chance to look at all these documents super close at first. Okay? And these happened 2 days apart. Oh my goodness. And we're going to read this full document as soon as I'm done redacting it. And I apologize. I was watching children all day and dealing with all sorts of other stuff, plus procuring that audio that you guys say is still playing, which is not true. I'm really frustrated that you guys are doing that to me. Like, I don't know if you guys realize, I can't even open Windows Explorer to open that audio clip anymore. It's just completely locked up. So, okay, here we go. Almost done. Almost done. Okay, I gotta block out this guy, block out this thing, block out this thing. Look at all these blocking outs. Whoops. Deleted. Guess I should block out the social security number and driver's license numbers. Okay. Here we go. All right. I'm gonna pray real hard that I didn't miss anything. I'm pretty sure I didn't. And now, to be very clear, guys, I do these redactions entirely out of courtesy. There's no requirement for me to do them. None. Not a single thing. I do them entirely out of courtesy because I don't want to bring other people into this stuff. Here we go. Here we go. We've got a final protective order. What is this? What is this? This is the protective order of a different person. This is a different person. You're going to feel real silly if you play back the stream and aren't just trolling us. Why would I troll you? Very weird. Okay, so here's the final protective order in this case. We've got, let's read it. Notice there is also a cause number here, right here. This is a different cause number than the other one. This one is also filed. And just so you know, it's signed, right, by the judge right there. So let's do this. On October 24th, 2012. So again, 2 days after the application for the other restraining order. The court heard the application of first ex-wife. Now, let me tell you a little bit about these filing numbers. At least I believe so. I guess I can't verify this. This 07 means that this cause number relates to a cause of action filed in 2007. You'll notice here that the cause number is 12, which is his divorce in 2012, right? 2012, same thing up here. This is a 2012 divorce. So this is actually a part of the cause of action from 2007, his first divorce. However, it's in October 24th, 2012. The court heard the application of first wife for a protective order. Applicant, first wife, appeared in person and through attorney of record Kate Stone and announced ready. Respondent, Ronald J. Toye III, appeared in person and announced ready. Oh, Ron, did you not hire a lawyer? That's probably not good. Jurisdiction. The court, after examining the record and hearing the evidence and argument of counsel, finds that all necessary prerequisites of law have been satisfied. This court has jurisdiction over the parties and subject matter of this case. Findings. The court finds that the applicant and respondent are individuals that were formerly spouses and individuals that are the biological parents of the same child, the child the subject of this suit. The court finds that family violence has occurred and that family violence is likely to occur in the future. The court finds that respondent Ronald J. Toye III has committed family violence. The court finds that the following protective orders are for the safety and welfare and in the best interest of the applicant and other members of family are necessary for the prevention of family violence.
Hey, look at those faggot-ass clothes! Faggot, faggot,
It is
fag,
ordered that
fucking
respondent
fag. My son's a
Ronald J.
fag.
Toye III is first prohibited from committing family violence through physical acts or by threat as defined in section 71.004 of the Texas Family Code. Prohibited from communicating directly with any members of first wife's household in a threatening or harassing manner. Prohibited from communicating a threat through any person to members of first wife's household. Prohibited from engaging in conduct directed specifically towards, including following first wife or any member of her household that is reasonably likely to harass, annoy, alarm, abuse, torment, or embarrass first wife or any member of her household. Prohibited from going to or near the residences or places of employment or business of members of first wife's household. Respondent is specifically prohibited from going near the residence located at address redacted or applicant's place of business or first wife's daughter's daycare. Now, the first wife's daughter, I don't believe is Ron Toye's biological daughter. That's not the subject of the custody hearing going on. I would imagine that the daycare of the first wife's daughter, that daughter is probably from the first wife's next marriage, and that Ron Toye's son is much older than the first wife's daughter. Okay? I have not gone through and doxed these people or anything like that. I'm drawing reasonable inferences based on the time frame. Okay? So, daycare or school, should she be enrolled in one, respondent is required to maintain a minimum distance of 1,000 feet of aforementioned locations therefrom. Ron Toye has literally been banned from daycares, schools, and houses for being a danger to people. How embarrassing. How embarrassing is that? Prohibited from going to or near the residence, childcare facility, or school of daughter normally attends, or in which mother or first wife normally resides. Respondent is specifically prohibited from going near the residence located at redacted. Prohibited from possession of a firearm or ammunition unless respondent is a peace officer, as defined by Section 1.07 of the Texas Penal Code, actively engaged in employment as a sworn, full-time, paid employee of a state agency or political subdivision.
Fag, fucking fag.
It is ordered that the license to carry a concealed handgun, if the respondent should have one, that was issued to respondent Ronald J. Toye under Section 411.177 of the Texas Government Code is suspended. It is ordered that respondent complete a battering, intervention, and prevention program with Blair Moore. Blair Moore must be a counselor that has begun the accreditation process under 42.141 of the Texas Criminal Procedure at Program Provider Counsel with Blair Moore, and shall provide a certificate of completion to the court. So he's going to go to this person. They've chosen a person to go ahead and facilitate that counseling program that they definitely admitted to, and it's with Blair Moore, and that they will provide a certificate of completion to the court. It is further ordered that respondent file with the court before the 60th day after the date this order is rendered an affidavit stating either that respondent has started the assigned program or counseling, or that the program or counseling is not available within a reasonable distance of respondent's residence. It is further ordered that if respondent files an affidavit the respondent has started the program or counseling, respondent shall file with the court before the date this protective order expires a statement that respondent completed the program or counseling not later than the earlier of the 30th day before this protective order expires, or the 30th day before the first anniversary of the date of this protective order is issued, and a letter, notice, or certificate from the program or counselor that verifies respondent's completion of the program or counseling. If respondent fails to provide the affidavit, and if required, the statement and verification of completion of the program or counseling as ordered, respondent may be punished for contempt of court as provided by Section 21.002 of the Texas Government Code by fine not to exceed $500, by confinement in jail for a term not to exceed 6 months, or by both. All right, I think I've got a couple chats here to read. Yeah, just a couple here. Kyle Lindholm says, "What did I walk into?" Oh, a mess. A mess. Kakalotuzaru says, "Hey, Nick, wanted to ask you something. I have a friend who's going through some tough times. She always had money problems, but recently she lost her house. Wonder if that's strong enough reason to start a GoFundMe for her." I don't know, man. Maybe. It's a good reason. Can you get the funding is a different question. Feel Good Always 990 says, "Bring Sean back. He has some based hot takes on this divorce. Think it would be a good addition to the show, but that's just me. Love your stuff, Nikki. Keep it up." Are you talking about Sean Schemmel? Weird. Okay. So 5, 7, and 2 says, "A lot of guys get railroaded in court. X drives him to the brink, records it, and plays victim. Let's say Monica's right. Ron wrongly maligned, which means he knows what he's putting Vic through. Yikes. He's not an abusive dirtbag, just pure evil." I think he's both, but that's me. I don't want to put my headset on. Oh my goodness. Andrew Casey says, "Hey, D-bag, rude. Some of us are at work and continuously playing that clip is aging like a glass of milk." Well, I'm sorry. I didn't know people would listen at work without like a headset or something. But, you know, there we go. Okay, so attorney's fees. This actually is lined out. They did not do this section. Fees, charges, and expenses. It is ordered that Ronald J. Toye III shall pay the $16 protective order fee, the standard fee for the cost of service of this order, costs of court, and all other fees, charges, or expenses incurred in connection with this order. It is therefore ordered that respondent shall pay $sign to the clerk of this court on or before the 24th day of December 2012 at by cash, cashier's check, or money order. Relief not granted. It is ordered that all relief requested in the application for protective order but not expressly granted is denied. So anything that's not mentioned here is not granted. So this is the order. This is the order. I didn't redact Ron's son's name? Oh, no, sure, I didn't. Okay, sorry. There you go. It's Ron. That's why I missed it. Oh my God. Order forwarded. A copy of this order, along with the information provided by Kate Stone that is required under Section 411.042B6 of the Texas Government Code, shall be forwarded by the clerk of this court to the sheriff and appropriate constable of Tarrant County, Texas, and primarily to Fort Worth Police Department and, I don't know what that says, Police Department, secondarily. This order shall continue in full force and effect until October 23rd, 2014. Warnings. This is just the warnings about you have to do the order, right? You have to do the order. Signed on October 24th, 2012 by Cynthia someone, judge presiding, the associate judge. So, and then information about respondent. We've got Ron J. Toye III. Redacted all of this stuff. He's 5'9", 190 pounds, male Caucasian. 4 is his left arm tattoo, and approved as to form only by Kate Stone. So there you go. That's it. That's it. So for all of their bluster, Ron officially recognized as committing family violence, a danger to commit further family violence, and had an order issued on October 24th, 2012. That would be welcome to continue through October 23rd, 2014, I believe, right? October 23rd, 2014. So there it is. I didn't dox the victim. His son wasn't the victim. The first wife and her daughter were the victims. Ron was not actually ordered away from his son in this protective order. So there you go. What else is there? I guess we can go back to the... So that's what I've got for now on the Toye documents. Okay, there are more documents. I have a bunch more documents. They need redaction. I hate redacting on the fly. Prefer to do it ahead of time, but life, y'all. Life. Tomorrow, don't leave yet. Of course, don't leave yet. But tomorrow, we'll be going through the audio recordings. We may do some more Toye document drops as we go. As we go. Rumor has it, Joseph TX is going to go down and get more documents related to this case. So we'll see if he turns up anything else that is juicy enough to put out there. Otherwise, you know, I've got more documents to go through. But just remember, oh, Ron never had this. Ron's a good guy. Not only did he have one protective order, the applications for 2 from 2 different women that he was married to at different times. One of them went through. The other one didn't get ordered, but oh man, Man, it must he sure got her on that one by agreeing to basically have a protective order and also pay for everything. Good job, Ron. All right, I am going to read through the chats. There are many chats, which I always appreciate, of course. But if you're going to peace out now, see you tomorrow. If you're not going to peace out now and you want to hang out for chats, great. And if you want, I'll be on Twitch after this show is done. But yes, I will probably reboot the computer between, because apparently there's an update that has to happen, and the computer will not abide until the update is over. But tomorrow, come hang out for the rest of the audio. Trigger warning, apparently. Bring your headphones if you're at work. I apologize for my boomering of the audio. I don't know what was going on. I know that my thing was my Windows Explorer is screwed up completely, and the file, I mean, like I said, I can't even pull it up. It takes like 10 minutes. But tomorrow, hopefully the audio issues, I'll be able to resolve them, have everything queued up nicely, and not have that weird issue again. But there will be audio. I have a feeling some of it is saucy, so bring your headphones if you want to listen at work. It's not me, right? Them. The moralizers. The ones who say words are bad. They're the ones saying the mean words. All right. Let's do this. Back to the top here. Brian Dewig says, reality is the murder of a beautiful theory by a gang of ugly facts. Robert L. Glass. M says, they want us to listen and believe Vic accusations with no proof, but when actual evidence against Ron comes out, it's not the full story. Hypocrite. M says, also missed you, Nick. Been gone for a few weeks. Hey, welcome back, M. FSAPO says, what would be a better car for Ron? A Toyota, a Mitsubishi, a Hyundai Sonata, or a Suzuki Sidekick? Trying to help him out since he won't be getting that Audi anytime soon. Stephen Pakaki says, in Stone Cold Steve Austin's voice, you guys think Nick's coverage on the Toye bomb drop yesterday was wicked? Give me an oh hell yeah. Hopefully that's good. Angel Ren 89 says, late and a con slut. Guilty. Kalinka Pavlova says, so I learned today that Kick Vic gaslights real victims. Of course they do. Of course they do. Ranstein Hernandez says, life lessons, never use disinfectant wipes to wipe yourself. I speak from experience. Uh-oh. RickU1186 says, and the chat goes wild 1 minute in. Boomer. Mario Carter 13 says, real lawyers know, innocent after proven guilty. Infernal Iris says, Nick, why do you look like Richard Simmons? Because we're working out, y'all. Because we're working out. Sharky says, how did you know that Sabbath hates Schemmel? Because I know a lot of things. Chicken Sith says, Sir Tyrannus Beard, I live south of Dallas and have an extra copy of Richard Meyer's Jawbreakers comic. Which office shall I drop it at? You could, I mean, it's probably easiest for you to drop it at the Dallas office. It's probably easier than driving to Tyler, but I'm sure you could mail it to the Tyler office. Dallas office, you may want to call and see if Jim's actually present, because I believe he's solo at that satellite office. But you got to check there. RickU1186 says, Nick and Toye should converse over wife beaters. Sure, lots to be said between the two. Harbinger 345 says, I'd give you $20, but textbooks are expensive. Don't ever give me money over your own stuff that you need to buy. Here's my contribution to you, oh great grifter. I expect much whiskey to be had and cases to be lost. Always. Always, always, always. The Netheril King says, hey Nick, love your live streams and Ty. Wish you the best in dealing with Soy Boy Ron. And I seriously hope you and Vix do Anime News Network. No one important says, sorry, but any pity I had for Rial dried up today with her going Where were you when I needed a bulletproof vest? Threatened to be arped and murdered. I think it means raped. I don't believe any of those threats occurred. Personally, I know the murder threat that she reported to Homeland Security and the police and all of that stuff was actually just a prank call. So, you know, yes, Twitch tonight, crate. Itchicinco says, WTF, Nick, wearing a wife beater? Really? LMFAO. What? It's warm in the vault. I'm allergic to heat. How dare you? Polar Bear Jago says, boy, your face redder than your shirt. It's warm in the vault. I ain't lying. I ain't lying. Marcus Hollis, thanks for the donation. Real Spider Phantom says, Nick of wife beater and static beard, now on sale. No One Important says, more Kick Vic reveals Michelle Rojas and Megami 33. I don't know who that is. Mr. Obi-Wan 2020 says, point of personal privilege. I'm prone to sensory overload and this static triggers me. Clint Mays says, Ty going to a miniature games con, secretly hoping he plays orcs. I think it'll be, well, I think actually orcs would probably devastate, like a, you know, because he's probably playing historical military. And the orcs would be absolutely horrified. Lady Lavalin says, my God, hush about the flippin' static. Chris Burke says, if Ty is on a laptop, have them unplug the power supply and run the battery. He needs a ground lift on the supply. I think it was just a bad Hangouts connection, in all honesty. Dave to Save 26 says, gentlemen, good to see both of you. Both of y'all. Haven't caught a live stream in a bit, been working a whole lot. That's good. And just started nursing school, so I'm glad I got to see both of you. Hey, congrats, man. Go get it. John Walsh says, hey, Nick and Ty, been a long time stream viewer. Just want to say thanks. Say that I work in Tyler and would like to shake Ty's hand at some point. Well, you know, call the office, ask if he's in, and if it would be prudent to walk down and shake his hand or drive down or whatever. JD Hausauer says, autistic me speaks, static NP, come off it, y'all. Oh, the static, no problem, I think he's saying. Zayray says, Nick, I've lost faith in the case and the cause. I'm tired of getting blocked on Twitter for simply politely objecting to Kick Vic and the ever-moving goalposts. Can this be one? Is justice real? Justice is happening in real time. Justice is happening in real time. So if you don't know, if you don't see that, I'm sorry that you don't see that. But justice is happening outside of the courtroom. Justice hopefully will occur inside the courtroom as well. Marcus Hollis says, hey, Nick, with all this defending Shane is doing on Twitter, you could assume Ron is possibly giving him the beats as well. Well, Ron does like to beat women. Shane is not a woman. Shane is something ugly. Jojo Turia says, Ron, I want to talk. Tweet sounds malicious now. Obscure Anime Guy says, how's that GoFundMe, Nick? I don't raise it while it's on stream. Or while we're on stream, but it is doing very well. I hear there was a big donation during the... I hear there was a big donation. Or I don't raise it while Ty is on stream. Yeah, we've actually got... Oh, come on. I can't read the names because one of them's a joke name and it's gonna get rejected. It's gonna get rejected. But yes, there was a $500 anonymous donation earlier. Awesome, thank you. It is up to $240,840. So we have passed that $240,000 threshold. Thank you so much, of course. And please never put yourself in any sort of financial jeopardy by donating to the campaign. Neither Vic nor I would ever want that. My Duchette widget doesn't work? Is it not? Oh, there. I guess I just had to bring it up for it to refresh. Rude. Oh, there it goes. It's dropping in real time again. Okay. Sorry. I guess it has to actually, like, I have to have the window pulled up for it to work. So, that was a shame watching it drop yet another one. Some nobody says there's no hitman gay enough to make it into his house. Brian W says, I'd off Greg for 20 in a Klondike bar in Minecraft. Killian the Grunt says, I'll creep for the cheap in Minecraft. Harbinger 345 says, oh, it went up. Oh no, people are subscribing. No, don't do it. You'll regret it, I promise. Harbinger 345 says the static is clearly from a large burst of soy rays. Oh, there it goes again. A strange form of electromagnetic radiation found in soy boys. Curious why they're so high today. Voltic Enigma says stay cool. Ice, ice, ice. Blaine 20 says book title suggestion inspired by G. Crath's Static Beard. Obscure Anime Guy says you guys like filings. Lady Lavalin says, Nick, it's fine. The static is fine. Young Knight says, wouldn't Ron Toye divorce paper be a great example for his anger issues and use that to lead into his furious tweets about Vic? Well, maybe. Maybe. E-Man to Manny says, hey, Ty, you should try using the word Pluto, both a compliment and a cuss word. Talbot Link says, Ty won't get me cussing. Also, Ty, son of a... Dave to Save 26 says, and our heroes fixed their technical issue, and there was much rejoicing. Yay! Patrick H says, why doesn't Kick Vic just start their own GoFundMe if they're that butt pained about it? Because my principles, right? If they started their own, they couldn't complain about this one. Individualist says, how the heck do you make beating your wife, threatening to kill the family, animals, and judge look moderate? Maybe we need to Baker Act Toye. Neil Purcell says, anyone have a tuba? We need a Dunford music sting. Nathan Kish says, a friend just won a lawsuit. Need a good celebratory whiskey appropriate for drinking a toast with. Man, I love me. If you don't like the smoky stuff, a Dalwhinnie 15. Oh, wait, no, get a Dalmore cigar malt if you're going to splurge. They're pushing that $200 range. But they're great celebratory whiskey. Dalmore cigar malt. If you don't want to go that high, go either with a Balmore 15 Darkest or go with a Oban. No, not Oban. Dalwhinnie Distiller's Edition or a Dalwhinnie 15. RA says, Ty, I don't know if you've tried anime, but as someone who never watched it much, I love Attack on Titan. I think you will too. Very based in Red Pilled show. Matthew Neidig says, sup, Captain Ty. Glad my sketch made its way to you. Crazed Corgi says, oh God, the gout is in, craving a steak right now. Kyle Jordan Gaming says, for Ty, then the winged hussars arrived. Black Magic says, thank you both for standing up to these evil subhuman monsters. Also, Nick, who's your favorite Primarch and why is it Rogel Dorn? It's not. Sorry. My favorite Primarch is probably... I always go with Vulcan because he throws a tank, and that's funny to me. Richard Freeman says, people defend a wife beater against a guy who hugged people at cons. I don't know how it happened, but we somehow been isekai'd into a hentai where this is okay. Gawker's Death Rattle says, if you want deep nerding on psychology stuff, hit up Aiden Paladin. She's awesome and will dive as deep as in the psych as you do into the law. Wolvenar, oh, we read that one. Lady Lavalin says, oh, Law Twitter wants evidence? Who here remembers when our requests for evidence were met with believe all victims and we don't owe you anything? Oh, all of us. All of us. Chris Montgomery says, Rekieta Law, I would like to personally thank the law offices of Twit Er for their incompetence. I have job security because of them. Kidda says, Ty will probably be gone by the time this is read, but Ty, how is the Frog God lawsuit going? Frog God seems to have reached agreement with the party. So I don't know if there's a specific lawsuit happening right now. But, if there is some update, I will definitely let you know. Zayray says, imagine moving the goalpost this much. Hashtag brick wall. Dave to Save 26 says, someone should start a hashtag. Maybe hashtag Ron beats women. Not so great. Is it, Ronnie boy? Madeline Armstrong says, all Amazons bow to Carrie Christie. That's Amazon Prime. Dante Malik says, tomorrow's my birthday. Thanks. Can't wait. Hey, happy birthday. No one important says, hey, Ty, what if Vic let you drink coffee out of his mouth? Out of your mouth. My mouth. Out of my mouth. I'll let you drink it out of my mouth. Or whatever. Sasuke Uchiha says, hey Ty, I gave Vic a bourbon soap for you too. Hey, awesome. Krusty Orangutan Tit says, love you guys. You guys make my night. That's an interesting name. Polar Bear Diego says, yup, Dallas and Fort Worth are like two different worlds. Justin Parrish says, Nick needs a Threadripper CPU. Get that 16 plus core goodness. I'm getting a 3950 with all of the cores. As soon as they're out. They come out next month. Cynic in Chief says, Nick's Windows ME computer is crashing. My computer's not even that old. The Geek Conservative says, really, Nick? About to murder it? Don't be Ron Toye. I'm going to chop up my computer. No One Important says, why is Sean such a dumb boss? Don't know. Kalinka Pavlova says, oh no, Sean. Emmett says, congrats on blue balling 9.3 thousand people, a world record. Didn't mean to. It wasn't intentional. The Shady Man says, you might be interested to check out the Grieve case in Australia. Here, Nick, take my Funimation subscription money. Honestly, you have better content. P.S. Oh dear, you're still using Internet Explorer. No. Windows Explorer, the file management system that runs in the background of Windows. I'm not using Internet Explorer. Zare says, that really wasn't much of anything, though. Not spicy. That's just the tip, buddy. RA says, that audio LMAO, Gohan, eternally BTFO. For real, though, I guarantee Shemmel fans and Funny Shields will unironically try to report the stream for homophobia. Terms of service. No One Important says, please let some of those audio files come from Ghost Stories and Shinameta. Try exclaiming, making fun of Christians and rape Monica. Verithica Froscale does, do you know if Toei is going to cut ties with Funimation? I don't know. We'll see what happens, as they get word of what's going on with their IP in Funimation Studios. No One Important says, yo, Abridged Bulma, Funny Dub Bulma doesn't have your back, and neither do the company. Better start backpedaling. Tablet Link says, want some more funny outtakes? Look up Orphan Outtakes, not a typo. Mather. Dorothy Pruitt says, a penny. Oh, wait, we read that one. Miss Daminor says, theory, Funimation telling a certain someone if they never want this recording getting out, they will be a good boy and do everything Funimation says. Samantha Schoner says, I just realized that I missed Vic's birthday on the 27th. Could you wish him a happy birthday next time you talk to him? Well, maybe. Sure. RA says, correction, Ty. There are 9 people who scored really well in law school and also got picked by the likes of Skull and Bones and the Intel community to fraternize with cheese pizza chefs who run the world. Oh, come on. Almost Cooking says, what do you think of the Pro Jared video? I haven't watched it yet, but it'll be interesting to see. Kalinka Pavlova says, modern feminists tell me I shouldn't disagree with them because they fight for my rights, yet gaslight me when I tell them I survived domestic violence. They're useless. Useless. Plain 20 says, PSA, if you're involved in telling a certain VA friend of ours that a friend and former handler of his is dogging him, quit with the vicious gossip. Jose M says, to Joseph, Texas, mate, come to Houston. I owe you a drink for that massive drop, brother. Kalinka Pavlova says, I'ma be late to stream tomorrow. Do I open the vodka? Always open the vodka. Miles Tales Power Fan 9 says, we learned it from watching you. Asphyxiation says, Nick, check my last DM on Discord. Instructions for pausing/stopping updates via command prompt for now and for future reference. Joseph TX says, I wonder if I set up a GoFundMe if it'll outperform Mars Girls. What would the goal be? Buying custom Kiwi engraved guns for Toye's wives and Vic? Oh, that'd be good. That'd be good. Daddy LP says, Shemmel's quote should be your Twitch sub sound. I don't know if Twitch would like that. Cynic in Chief says, Sean is referring to your shorts from Bubba Fizz. Hey! Rude. Kalinka Pavlova says, restart PC before you do Twitch. If you do Twitch, I will. Bad Dragonite says, Windows, would you like to restart your PC now? F. Oh, F asterisk. You guys can fill that in. Finfrog says, I haven't heard the fig word this much since the late 90s in middle school, back when the world was a bit more sane. Lane 20 says, random Bubba Fest quote, anyone got any bud? No One Important says, Christian dad issue? Paddock SA says, take off headphones, boomer. That was the best advice. Link says, Funny used to do random between take outtakes and hide them on DVDs as Easter eggs. They got pretty spicy with a few shows. That's a shame. Finfrog says, late 90s, back when playing Smear the Queer at Recess offended nobody. Shady Man says, hey, Nick, if Vic decided to start his own production animation company, would starting a GoFundMe to help get him off the ground be a worthwhile idea? That's up to him. Bellacore 40K says, rip this stream's monetization after repeating that sound clip over and over, so here's $12 US. Hey, thank you. Turbo says, sub to drain the swamp. Divis Magus says, I feel like these Funimation leaks are going to make all the people at Funimation very paranoid. Who is the mole supporting Vic? Montor says, thanks, Vic. You had me so distracted. I just watched my bus to work go by without hailing it. Hyrule 47 says, thank you guys and gals. I'm really hurting, but thanks. Justin Parrish says, the 3950X comes out on the 7th. Gonna grab one. Me too. Big Fee says, I didn't know that Toye was Shemel's son. Real Spider Phantom says, Nick, either you're trolling good for once or boomering. Probably the latter. Rogue says, I don't mind the sound clip. It's funny to me. Serial Foxity says, does the transcriber have to write Sean's lines every time they play? Ron Toye is a cuck. I don't know. Feel good. Oh, wait, I read that one. Weirdo with the cello says, Nick, every time you call Soye a weirdo, I consider a new username. He is a weirdo, though. Shady Man says, Nick, have you ever watched or listened to any of Dimitri Martin's comedy? A ton of it. That guy cracks me up. Real Spider Phantom says, it played multiple times, but haven't heard it for a while. Oh, that's good. El Gunaha Carnspur says, just turned in. WTF is this hilarious sound clip? That would be Sean Schemmel saying something very, very not politically correct. And recorded at Funimation Studios and stored on Funimation servers. Mario Carter 13 said, did Soy also pay for these Fa Get ASS clothes? I don't know. Tofu Hazard says, sent YouTube clip of Monica saying she loves whores via DM. Twitter handle is Bait and Cligsby. Have a good night, Nick. Hey, good night to you. Lane 20 says, I'm amazed he has no DUIs. Earjuice said, would this be why Ron is coming up as a sex offender? Maybe. By the way, clip played for the 20th time. So funny. Martin V. Where are we? We're getting towards the end here. Martin V says, accept this humble tip. Sure, thanks. Lane 20 says, accept just the tip. Finfrog says, may the 4th Ron be with you. Jake CV says, $2 because had whiskey, made new friends in Texas. You rock. Hey, thanks. Real Spider Phantom says, everyone timestamp every clip replay and flood him. Don't do that. I don't want that. Bell Revan says, hey, Nick, first super chat. Thanks for all the good work you do. Love listening to your streams while working and playing games. Hey, thank you. Andrew Casey says, hey, chat. People who work in an environment where the ability to hear is a safety issue don't wear earphones. Well, I'm sorry, buddy. Vepper says, child support for the second wife? I don't know. I need the final well, I mean, she had it at least temporarily through the divorce. Don't know what the ultimate outcome of that is. Asphyxiation says, Windows Update still slams your resources even after the update is downloaded. Bits is the main culprit. Tries to use you to peer-to-peer updates. I think I turned that off, but, you know, who knows. Finfrog says, get back to work, Andrew. Put that soy milk away while you're at it. Rude. No one important says, tweeted you an interesting Monica vid. Oh, do I have to look at her? Snarkticon DM. Snarkticon DM says, point of personal privilege, please refrain from using gendered language when Goku slurs people. Don Gamer Guy says, hey, Nick, this money would have gone to Jim, but... Oh, what happened? Snarkticon DM says, I'd Minecraft for that for $1. Blaine20 says, we're overdue for a Habercorn cameo. Always overdue for a Habercorn cameo. Infernal Iris says, either Monica is so Stockholm there's no pulling her out, or she is just as manipulative and abusive as Ron. If that's the case, then I guess Ron found his match made in hell. Liz Reptile says, check Discord DM. The clip is playing a lot. Well, the stream's almost over, so we'll have to resolve it, hopefully by restarting. Hildeo the Horse says, Dimitri Monroe is the best trap. Big ups, AEG gang. Bad Dragonite says, embrace the tip. Embrace the tip. Have I gone through these justice chats yet? I don't think. Okay. Cormoran says, rackets, think you could get away with selling a wife beater that reads Ron Toye is a... Oh, that's a good one. Anthony says Ron is a Ron a cuck, 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 Ron a cuck. You're welcome. Sony says, please no audio leaks, which will neither confirm nor deny. Which we will neither confirm nor deny. Oh, from Sony, yes. Mercenary X says, Ty and Nick, hypothetically speaking, if Ron said those things to me, and I believe he is deadly serious about following through, how far can self-defense go? Like lethal? What is the sound going through? What is the sound going through, Ty? What are plugged in PC hardware could be failing? No, I would not suggest using lethal force. Force tends to have to be proportional, but you would need specific advice on that from someone in the jurisdiction. Michael says, good morning from the Netherlands. I need to go to work now, but I'm curious about that audio. Facetious Sage says, R.E. Duchette, is it possible he responded the way he did because Toye may have left a message threatening to chop up his CPAP machine? Always possible. Always possible. Facetious Sage, second question. Do these new revelations mean that Toye can now be called on as an expert in the abuse of women? Oh, no. Oh, no. Ni Ryong says, if you do come down for the hearing, please let us know. I'll show up with a fresh smoked brisket for the kind folks at BHBH and yourself while wearing my brand new How Embarrassing shirt. God bless and gig 'em Aggies. Beat the hell out of Texas State. Noobly Knight says, long-time watcher, first-time donator. I just have to thank Sean for the yellow dollar sign. Also, thank you, Nick, for the entertainment, and thanks, Ty, for just being you. Cowboy FMJ 91, read that one. Redacted says, playing devil's advocate, I guess, but are we sure this isn't a deep fake? Because this is effing surreal. I am pretty sure this isn't a deep fake. Pretty sure. Blue Samurai 0 says, disable Win10 update by under settings, network, click Ethernet, set to metered. Do likewise for any Wi-Fi connection you have. Under settings, update, set active hours to 18 hours long for when you're usually busy. Do this from memory. Labels may vary. AE Ivan says, hey guys, sorry for bringing up some personal stuff, but I'm feeling really bad. Yesterday, during my birthday party, I found out that my cousin passed away from heat stroke. Oh man, that sucks. If anybody's drinking, can you raise a glass in the memory of Todd? Thanks. To Todd, man. I'm out of drink, but yeah, to Todd. Mercenary says, Nick, it is playing at random. How many times did you click the sound file when the CPU got heavy use? Some of them are playing once the bottleneck clears up, like a computer version rush hour traffic. I think it ran out for now. Well, that's good. Wazoom says, under deposition, Ron said that he was only in court when he sued his landlord over black mold. Isn't that perjuring, knowing what we do now? It's perjury, but it might not be perjury material to the case, and in that case, it might not be useful at all. Wazoom says, what evidence is there that this is the correct Ron Toye? None. No evidence. Pro Euro All Might says, in West Nile, lawyer voice says, look at those figgy-ass clothes. Fig, figgy, fig, freaking fig. My son's a fig. Bad Dragonite says, I listen at work with earbuds while listening for alarms. I'm sure it'll be fine. And then, finally, Picard13 says they're going to depose you if they see you at the hearing, Nick. Lol. Good luck. Here we go. Oh, I'm going to have to turn that down. Play the outro. There's the outro. My stream deck is working again. Who knows what broke it, but it's now fixed. It's now fixed. All right, guys. That is the show for the night. Thank you for hanging out with me. Please come tomorrow for much more audio that we will play, and I will have all of the weird tech issues resolved. So hope you will come join me. We'll see. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I think Funimation might have some interesting explanations for why they allow their voice actors using their equipment in their studio to make homophobic comments in the voices associated with an IP that they license from a very respected company in Japan, and a very precious IP at that. This is not just, this isn't just whatchamacallit. This isn't just like Sean Schemmel saying this. He's saying it as the voice of Goku in the studio, in the recording studio. And it's saved on the company servers and kept. It's 2019. Can you say that as a company? I don't know. I don't know if you can. I guess we'll find out. But gosh, I wouldn't want to have that associated with my company if I were trying to, not get fired by Sony, who just bought me. How dare you, Eric S. I will have extra shoulder just for you. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Peace. I will be on Twitch in a little bit after that computer restart. Peace. I'll see you there, or I'll see you tomorrow.
Get unemployed, so pour out a glass for the tea. Post on Twitter as we hear lawsplaining tonight. From the white shores of Nairn to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what we have now. From the white shores of Nairn to the hills of
I gotta close this down. Oh my goodness.
Hey, look at those faggot ass clothes.
God damn it.
Faggot, fag, fucking fag. My son's a fag.